it's a podcast network, and the podcast network has multiple shows, and it's like, yeah, well, I don't know. There's no like, you just have to try stuff out, you know. And I saw like a lot of the stuff that I think is like cool in my mind might not be so cool in real life, so I don't know. But I think the interesting thing between you and me is that we're both have the same situation.
Absolutely.
Right. And so, and we're speaking English, so we're doing the English market. We're not going to do the German thing.
We could break into that once in a while. Like,
I don't know. That's the hard part about this whole thing for me. Because like when I do something in German, it's got to be full on. Like you can't, like when you do a YouTube channel, you can't be like, this is a bilingual YouTube channel. Or could you? But then like the podcast itself, then like the people that want to listen to it are like, wait a minute, I don't understand that language if I'm just an English speaking person. And then he goes back and forth. So it's only then for bilingual people, which is really
another subset.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, the people in Germany that are like us, there's a lot of those too. Like, what if we just went for those people? But like, this is the show for people that like us in Germany, that if women and families and expatriates, like in general, because there's probably so many people that you could that we could even reach out to, or even do like fun games with, or like try and connect. And like this website, The Local, I was talking about yesterday.
Right. Yep.
Have you been on there?
I've just read. I think they have a paper or something like that too, like a Zeitung or something. And is it out of Sweden? The Local? No.
They have. Actually, I said something like it was wrong yesterday. I said something like it's just in German, but it's here. It's oh man, I don't have glasses on.
I gotta get mine. I forgot mine too.
Europe, Austria, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Norway, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland.
So they're out there.
Yeah.
I saved the day, right?
But yeah, I think one. These are the old ones I had on. Oh my god! So where in Germany do all the Americans live? See, that's like a cool.
Tough one.
Want to know the cities in Germany where it's easiest to find a craft brewed beer, drink iced coffee, and speak English. Drink iced coffee.
Key facts. You got to know.
Probably the ones most influenced by the large American populations. We look at Germany. So this article is updated on July 4th, 2019. So there's 120,000 Americans living in Germany right now.
Fantastic. That's good.
So we need 120,000 people watching this show. And then I'd be happy.
You need some clickbait there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So let's do some clickbait.
All right.
Corona
Virus testing.
So we just did the anti-Kerper antibody test.
I feel good.
It's weird, huh?
It's
like a false sense of security, or?
It seemed too easy. I thought it'd be rigorous battery of chemicals and
what's this one that they stick up your nose? That's the crazy.
I haven't done that one yet.
Really? I think that's the one when. That's the one that. What's that? What's that called? Do you know that one?
Isn't that a flu medication?
No.
Coronos? No. That's sorry. Those
test. What is it called? I just Google like the worst Google.
Coronaza.
Why is testing so up your nose? Unpleasant nasal swab test.
Unpleasant.
Yeah, because I guess they have to do it. They get it like to say that say that because like Franzi and Stephanie. Franzi did Eric and I, and Stephanie, that's my sister-in-law, right?
Yep.
She did yours because Franzi had to take off and pick up the kids, and they both look at me like, it's just, okay. So this now you have this what do you call it in English? Antikörper is in German. So what's it in? Antibodies. So if the antibodies you have the test for the antibodies. So if you have the antibodies in your system, then you've gotten sick, and you're past like after 2 weeks of being sick, your body's fought it off and said, "Cool, I'm still living. I'm able to. I've built up like these antibodies in my body to fight the virus." And so that's the only thing that this test is testing for, is if you've done that, if you've gone through that. But what does that mean for us? Like, so since we all don't have it, since we all don't have the antibodies, technically we could all be in the incubation period still.
Oh.
And we could be passing it on to each other.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So it's like, cool. Like we have the antibody test, but since I don't want to get sick, but if you could say that like we all have the antibodies, then we're safe somehow.
I felt safe. I felt good.
You feel it's like a false sense of security somehow. I don't know. I don't really. But this test, this nozzle swab test thing, is nasal swab test is they say that we are in this incubation period.
Okay.
And they think we were, like they said, this person that you knew was sick, and we know that, so we're gonna have to do this test on you to like make sure. And so they have to go. It's really uncomfortable. They have to go like way back in there
into the brain.
And then they can tell you, like they can get a swab, and then from this swab they'll be able to see if you're infected with the virus or not. So, good Lord,
that doesn't feel good.
No, I don't know.
I thought honestly you guys were tested and you're all happy, and then I was gonna be the one. She says, "I'm sorry man. You're in the phase. You're red hot, and you have to leave." And everyone was like, body snatchers, like ah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it turns out to. Like that's
something
what the feeling that's the weird feeling about it. Like, or do you wear a mask when you go shopping?
No,
Do you wear gloves or anything?
No. I'm probably suicidal in that way, but
it's weird though because nobody does here.
Yeah, and we could talk about that. Like this place is very laissez-faire in this small area of Germany. Not many people around, and like a crackdown on restaurants. How many restaurants do we have? Like realistically, would you go to 2 or 3?
Yeah.
So a lifestyle change for me. Now, we don't usually go out, so I thought this is not a big problem for us. But I can imagine if you lived in Berlin, this would be like crushing the kids. Like, oh, we can't go to the playground, and playgrounds, my God. And it's like, but here it's kind of situation normal.
It is. It's weird. I don't know.
For you guys, the same. I mean,
it's weird because Franzi's in the pharmacy, so she's like constantly in contact with like people every day, and we have like plexiglass there now. You saw that, and we have it all. You saw how it was like all striped off.
It looks amazing. Yeah, it's good.
You have to like
well done.
Yeah, you got to make sure, but people don't listen. People don't like when we were just walking in on the way down there. Right now, Eric and I had to get our tests before you got there. We have the back entrance now, like from this inside area. It's just for families and kids.
Okay.
And it's like a special.
Smart.
And this woman like read all the we watched her because we were walking down the stairs behind her. She read all the signs. She has no kids with her. And she like kind of looked around, and we were from behind. And she just opened the door and went in. And my wife goes in there. She's like, "Excuse me, it's for children and families. It's for your protection, like all this stuff." And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard because the thing is, like, nobody really knows,
Yeah.
I don't know, like nobody, and so it just kind of defaults to like whatever, and we're all hypocrites in our own way. Like I'm kind of a hypocrite about it too because like I wear my mask and gloves when I go shopping.
Okay.
And people look at me like I'm an alien. Like
I
get shamed. I get mask shamed.
Gotcha.
And they think that like I'm just scaring everybody. So like when there's kids out shopping, which they shouldn't be out shopping.
Honestly,
to begin with,
yeah,
if you can help it.
German rules.
If you can't help it, it's understandable. But if you can help it, then and so the kids look at you like, and they look at the parents like, "What's up with this dude?"
Wow.
Yeah. And I like I had this 3M mask on that was terrible. Because it was like hardcore, and then you have.
It's got the side ventilators and the.
No, not that one, but it has one in the front. But it's so tight and so on there, so like when you breathe, it just like the hot air goes right over. And then you're wearing glasses.
Right.
So and then it's just like you're sitting there shopping, and you're like fogged up and glasses, and people looking at you like
Darth Vader,
douchebag. Yeah, they really. And then like I always have to buy a lot because of the kids and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I buy usually like a full-on basket.
Buckets
and
of
they
milk
think I'm like hoarding.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is what I always buy.
Sir.
No, but
Sir.
Yeah. And I bought 2. I found toilet paper today.
Yep.
Oh God, I don't know.
I worried about that too. That's that. There were just signs like only buy what you need. Don't go crazy.
Yeah, that toilet paper thing's weird, huh?
Even before this, we'll buy like 2 big things of milk, 24 these Tetra packs, or a liter a piece. You go through 2 making coffee.
Yeah.
And apple juice, boom, case of OJ, case of this. And if it's on sale, 2 cases.
You would do that anyway, right? You did that before Corona.
Yeah. And they must think I'm from Poland, because of my accent.
Yeah.
And here I am going across the border to get German groceries. I don't know what they think.
That's true. That's funny.
But that was before. Now it's like, oh, he's crazy, man. He's, stocking up his bunker.
Yeah.
Or, there's no toilet paper, but. still.
Yeah. No, today at the first time, it was the first time in 6 weeks that I've actually seen toilet paper at I just go to Edeka. That's where I go shopping. But Franzi, she goes sometimes to Lidl.
Yep, that's what I was talking about.
And they have toilet paper now?
I haven't looked. I stocked up months ago.
Yeah, they do.
Well, we have 4 girls in the house, so
you've had it. You've had it before Corona.
Yeah.
I kind of like doing that in general. Like I love just like shopping and getting everything for a month, you know, especially like those things that don't go bad.
Yeah.
Just because it's like when I buy soap for the store, like, I mean, from the store, when I buy soap for washing like dishes and stuff, you know,
Yep.
I'll just grab like the whole box of like 12 of them.
Yeah.
And then just buy them. It's kind of for I can even use them for the pharmacy. In the pharmacy, we need a whole bunch too. So it's just like, it's almost like going to Costco, but we don't have Costco. So
I was going to ask you because I don't know if it's hoarding, this mentality, just like grabbing everything you can, or maybe this background of American capitalism like at play, or that thing where we don't have these super size for family house of 6 or in your case 5.
You don't really have that, huh?
No, you have to buy a pack of bologna here is like 6 slices.
You're like, dude, I need 8 packs of bologna.
I make one of these a day
for
for
a
me.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then at Costco, you could buy these there's I don't know, 45 pieces of bologna in one package, and it's just normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a decent price. I don't know about the quality, but
yeah.
like that was one of the big problems I had coming here, just the use of plastic. We're recycling everything, and I thought, wow, this is
You
crazy.
see how much do you throw? Like how much plastic containers?
Yeah.
How like the yellow bags? When you guys do yellow bags, do you feel like the worst offender?
I try. I try, but we used to like 4 bags.
Yeah.
4 bags for 6 people.
And
like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
I think that's a lot. Just like bologna wrappers and we just had Easter, so all the aluminum foil from the rabbits.
Yeah.
I don't know, but where does that is that? Because I'm the same way. Is that being a good dad, buying 6-pack of hand soap?
Everything I do is being a good dad.
You are a good dad.
You
pat
are
yourself
too.
on the back. I wish I could pat you on the back, but that's social distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of.
But yeah, you owe it to yourself.
No, that's weird though. I think you're right. I think that I don't know if it's an American thing or if it's just.
Are we the only guys doing that?
Well, now it definitely feels more amplified. Like I feel watched. I always felt watched with my accent in general, right? Like
you should. No,
yeah,
I do
should.
too. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a little
like you said, where you know this whole Poland thing that was way before Corona.
true.
That you like you go somewhere and you speak German
I try.
with or maybe a little bit of English comes out, but normally like here, since we're so close to the Polish border, locals will look at you like they look at you and then they probably just assume that you're from Poland. And I've had that too before. Yeah.
I'm wearing a baseball hat, which is
yeah.
weirdo. What's that guy doing?
Yeah.
He's not wearing one of these Greek fisherman hats or like the oldsters wear around here.
That's true. The only generation that like our generation of hats, that's weird. But like this like Eric and stuff wearing baseball hats is.
No.
Do you guys wear caps? Not really.
Yeah, with 14, 15, 16.
So at the age of 19, not anymore.
No.
It's not cool anymore.
I got a time period where I wore Fisher bucket hats.
Yeah.
Bucket hats, are they called? Just also looked as stupid as everybody else.
Hats are pretty stupid, I guess.
I love wearing.
I don't know why I do. It's just to hide my
my
lack of hair, but
I love wearing a hat. I love wearing a hat, and then you get the perfect glasses, and now the style of the hat's a little bit flat. At first, I kind of fought against that.
I
didn't
did
like
too.
that.
Looks
but
good.
now I like it because the glasses definitely fit under that.
True.
Because the ones that here, when you have your glasses on, then it puts your hat up.
Yeah,
like
good
that.
point.
So
I didn't think of that.
That's but I don't do the whole. I don't know. Some people do the whole like where it kind of comes up like that.
That's a little LA. Yeah.
LA or do you have the in like the Midwest? my Marc, it's so weird. I kind of stutter at this. I don't know why. I just say my dad. I got.
Oh, you
just
brought
my
him up
dad.
last time. Yeah.
That he always had his hat like he propped it up like above, so it's like always here, and so the hair kind of is in front, and it just kind of props up like that.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a Okie. He's Oklahoma Okie style.
Okay.
And I used to wear my hat like that, and I met someone in Vegas when I was working with a satellite company. Like, we're just doing satellite installs, you know. And then he had his hat, and he looked at me. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay. So you must be from?" I'm like, "I'm from California," you know. And just that alone was like a thing for him. And he had like that cool accent, like the. It's kind of like, I can't even do it anymore. Like pack the car, kind of like pack the car, and then I don't know how to do it.
Wow, that's like New England too.
That's kind of more. That's more. I think that's more
interesting.
East. Like, yeah, it's more East Coast, huh? Like this.
Yeah, that's pretty common. But I've never been out to Oklahoma or Okie way, so I don't know what.
Yeah, Okie's not like that. He was more like, where was he from? Was it more? He had like this type of like, I can't do it anymore. He had like this type of, don't you know? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you know? What's accent is that? Don't you know? Gee golly, don't you know? What accent is that?
Oh,
They
that's
used to be
almost
like-
Canadian almost.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
know.
That's almost like Canadian. That's why, because he was like maybe from more like North Dakota area.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so you're closer to the.
That's cool.
I think it is.
Huh.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but he had it. It was cool when he did it because it was different in Vegas, and he would always pick up chicks with that.
Oh yeah,
It
the
was just
exotic.
because it was like a little. It was little. It was like he's like, oh, you know.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, he's cute. He says, you know.
All right,
You
tell
know, in the car. Oh.
accents still do it. Yeah, that's true. Jeez.
Did you ever have an accent?
I tried not to. My parents did, and my relatives. Instead of Mark, it was like Mackie. Where's Mackie? Come open up your Christmas present, Mackie. Give me Grammy a kiss. I'm like, ugh, it's not Mackie.
Mackie.
It's Mackie.
Come here, Mackie.
It's Mark.
You look so hell. Have you been eating enough Mackie?
It was yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Funny. You hear JFK did his big speeches in Berlin.
That's right.
And he had that ripping New England accent that he came from Cape Cod.
So what's it called? Rippin'?
It was just like really obnoxious.
Oh,
And
okay.
he'd be,
Yeah.
I just say rip it. It's out there.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know. I have no idea. So it's true though. When you say that, I realized that JFK had this accent. Yeah.
yeah, it was really stood out. And it's funny to hear these historical speeches that he had in, I think it was Schöneberg, and he came in there. He was talking to, I think at the time it was Khrushchev, and he was like, and it was a super huge faux pas, so it's even more funny than it is. But he comes in, he says in his New England accent, "Ich bin ein Berliner," and the crowd goes crazy. They say, "Oh, this is like," and Ronald Reagan tried to copy that later, "Tear down this wall," the same, but in a much more appropriate accent. Yeah. It sounds awesome. I was like, wow, this guy from Cape Cod is telling the world he's a Berliner. I thought that was cool. But I didn't realize until later, and this is way off our Corona subject. But,
Oh yeah, it's good. I don't want to talk about it
and
anymore.
as I was learning German, the difference between ein Berliner and you just say, if you're from Berlin, you're a Berliner. You say, ich bin Berliner.
Nicht
you're-
ein.
Yeah.
Nicht ein Berliner.
If you're a
Yeah.
ein Berliner, you're one of these jelly-filled donuts.
Oh yeah.
So
That's okay. That's what that is, right? So like when you say the word the, like I'm the jelly donut, or I'm a Berliner.
I'm the donut called the Berliner.
Yeah.
It's because I am the donut, and
Yeah. Yeah.
eat it. How did we blow that? The CIA must have like, okay, here's what you have to say. This is gonna rock the house. He's
Yeah.
like, I like it. Sounds good.
Yeah. Ich bin ein
He
Berliner.
goes in there, rips it up, and they're like, this guy called himself a donut.
So if he had just been like Ich bin Berliner,
That's it.
then it's cool. But just the fact that he put ein in front of it turned him into a jelly donut.
Yes. I don't know.
That's like the same thing with the foot. Like there's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Yeah.
That's like wait, no. but when the first time you hear it, you never think, you don't really
Yeah.
think about it. But when you
Poetic.
analyze it, and it's like he must have been thinking about that for so long before he knew. He wrote it down
am I
and
gonna
so
do?
many things. And then, do you even believe that we landed on the moon? It's just a philosophical question these days. Some people don't believe it. A lot of people actually probably.
I never heard so much doubt about it until I came to Germany.
Right?
So I was like, what? And they're like, oh, no, look at the shadows, and this doesn't correspond, and really, like, rock solid evidence. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my God, you guys have really thought about this. I didn't.
Yeah, I have a friend. My friend, shout out to Dieter, man. And
Dieter.
Dieter from Berlin, and he's definitely got some strong evidence, especially after a couple beers. Once you get like
it all makes sense.
No, it's not. I don't know. It's kind of hard when someone's so convincing about it, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, I
Going
never
with it.
thought of it like that. And so it's almost like my blind side for not even ever. I never questioned it. Alone, that is probably a sign that you should at least question. Like, I'm cool for questioning stuff, right?
Right.
Like and show me some proof. But then I'm kind of like, well, didn't they install like a mirror up on the moon? And can't we shoot a laser at that mirror? And can't we tell you?
Oh, good point.
And there was something about that. I thought that was like my thing.
I had no idea.
But then it turns into like when you're whenever we see each other, we're hanging out somewhere and it's like this conversation that you have, and it's like you Google it and you just don't have the connection, and you never. And it's like, who cares who's right, really?
But still,
laser.
Didn't know that one. That's a good story.
Mirror. I didn't know that. Laser moon project. Mirror.
Excuse me.
Lunar laser ranging. Oh, it's even in German. Beim Lunar Laser Ranging werden von
Glasses.
werden von Bodenstationen auf der Erde aus. I have to do it in English now because we're doing this all in English. Sorry, Germans. I love you. Lose the range. Experiment. It's an ongoing experiment. It measures the distance between surfaces of Earth and the moon using laser ranging. Lasers at observatories on Earth are aimed at retro reflectors planted on the moon during the Apollo program 11, 14, and 15, and the two Lunokhod missions. I don't know what those are. Laser light pulses are transmitted and reflected back to Earth, and the round trip duration is measured. The lunar distance is calculated from this value.
Wow.
So there's one. There's a picture of one.
Amazing. Never knew.
Yeah. So that kind of, for me, you could still be like, yeah.
But
So who's giving you the numbers? The same people that faked it in the first place. So
yeah.
That's the thing about
does make
conspiracy
sense.
theories is you can always fucking bring it.
Oh my God.
But the whole flat Earth thing, that's where I pull the plug. I'm like,
Yeah.
guys,
Come on, dude. Really?
Did you see that on Netflix?
No, I just don't.
You don't even put any effort into that, right?
I have no time to waste like that. So it sounds cool. And I'd probably get into it, but it's like, oh, here I go down another rabbit hole.
What do you? Yeah, I was going to ask you, what is your favorite rabbit hole besides Corona?
Oh God, I don't know. Right now, it's
besides children in bed.
That's like maddening. Yeah, I don't know.
I would have to talk about it. If you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm actually trying to do with all this downtime? I'm trying to recapture all the stuff I used to watch as a kid.
Okay.
And like, God, sounds wicked stupid, but here I am, like midlife crisis maybe.
Yeah.
Old G.I. Joe.
Okay.
Transformers, like theme songs and like YouTube.
Okay.
And it's amazing. Just like, what was that guy's name? Yamakataki Hog Phasers. No clue what, nobody knows what that means. But it just stuck in my head. And it's an old Japanese series that was Americanized, Force 5. I don't know if it was Guy King or Grandizer. Wicked stupid stuff, but
and you enjoy
that's at night. Yeah, the kids are in bed. I'm like, wow, that really did exist. That's cool.
That's cool.
Show the kids the next day. It blows up the house. Like, wow, that is so cool. Yamakataki with the hog phasers. Let's see another episode. I feel like I don't know. And we have so much time to kill, so lots of like YouTube searches and bizarre. Yeah. That's kind of a rabbit hole.
YouTube can be a rabbit hole.
It's bad.
Yesterday we were talking about bees.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, because my daughter asked Franzi, like, where does beeswax, like, where does honey come from? And I kind of had the thing in my head with, like, the regurgitating and stuff. Or maybe I was like, maybe
bee barf.
Bee barf, or they poop it out. But it was like, they regurgitate it. But there's a YouTube video on it. And of course, it's like cool, like the 10-minute video, and just type it in. It's so awesome.
Wow.
And I didn't realize how structured, like the whole, like, with the drones and
amazing.
And then like there's this bee bread that the other females, they only get to eat the bee bread. They don't get to eat the royal jelly.
Wow.
And the royal jelly is only what the queen gets. And so the bee bread itself has something that actually makes the other female bees sterile.
You're kidding.
So they can't have.
Whoa, that is a
that's
weird movie.
Yeah.
Talk about.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was like so intricate, And then the cool thing was the walking, right? The dance that they do. They do like this dance when they get back to the hive, and they do like this half circle, and then they crawl up the half circle again, and they do it again, and there's always got a certain angle, and the angle is like to the sun.
Oh, right.
Or like based on the sun to like the direction of where the pollen is that they need and if it's like a really excited dance, then that's like a really good source.
Wow.
And if it's kind of a slow dance, they're like, okay, this is so that's how they communicate to the other bees like where to fly out to next time.
How cool.
Yeah. And I was like, really, that's like genetically programmed in the,
That sounds.
I always go into the Matrix and stuff, but it's.
Oh, that's even better than Yamakataki and the hog phasers, man. I've got to get the kids
Yamakataki,
on something
the hog
real.
phasers.
Like some Japanese animation.
I love Japanese stuff though.
Yeah, it's really
They have a lot on Netflix too. Like Tristan has found so much Japanese stuff. I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese. It's just definitely got like this touch to it.
Huh.
And they always have like a little bit. It's a little freaky, but it's enough to like where it's not over the top. Like they have this one where the parents go and they like get really hungry and they're eating all this food at this empty market, and they're like, wow, it seems kind of ghostly empty, and then all of a sudden they turn into pigs because they're just like eating it. And then he's like, Dad, this is the part where they turn into pigs, and my little 4-year-old's watching, like looking at me like, holy shit,
is this for real?
Because they're just like, oh, and all of a sudden this big old things, and they're like freaking out, and the kid starts to cry because his parents have turned into these huge. That's kind of the Asian Asian stuff kind of goes sometimes into that
little haywire mode.
But it's always cool somehow. It's always got like an extra level of depth to it somehow. Like I don't know if it's this like what it is, but I enjoy like that. Or do you like to watch have you ever watched Ip Man?
Yeah, amazing. I've only seen the first film, I think, but didn't they have like number 3 or 4?
I think they just did the 4th one like in 2019.
And I heard a TV series is out there.
Yeah,
like
I kind of had like a Ip Man phase where I watched like.
I bet you and
3 of them. Yeah, no, but that's like before Bruce Lee, right? I think that's kind of like the story of itself was like the guy, like the original teacher of Bruce Lee was one of the Ip Man guys or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
I forgot the background, but a friend of mine in the States, he was like yourself practicing martial arts.
Yeah.
And we'd have
not anymore, not lately. Oh, that's so sweet.
Right. Oh, I know. Polish border's like totally closed.
Yeah, we can't even do it here.
Right. So sports clubs.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, a guy turned me on to it over there, and he's like, "Hit man," and told us about it. I thought it was pretty cool. But how's that going for you? Like, food intake, alcohol, smoking. You take up smoke. What's going on with you and the family? Has your life changed for better or worse? Like your lifestyle. You can't work out, and you can be on. You don't have to be honest, but.
No, I'll be totally honest.
You look great. You're good in the sun. I can tell you're thin.
I love talking to you, man. You always make me feel so good.
I'm like bloating. It sucks. Tell me more. Let's talk about you.
No, I mean, if I'm really honest about it, if I just break it down from like the very first, like the first 2 weeks was definitely like, okay, well, because Italy was just on fire.
Yeah, things were not looking good.
And so that's close enough to me where I was like, okay, the alarms for me. And that was kind of the weird thing because like you said, here in our region, it wasn't like people were just like, oh
yeah,
like, or it's a conspiracy.
Like, why would I buy toilet paper?
Or it's fake or whatever, you know. And actually, the thing is, I kind of went to the store and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna grab stuff for like the next 2 weeks, you know.
Me too.
Which was a lot. It was a lot because I usually just buy once a week and that's one cart. So I'm like walking out there like doing 2 trips.
Okay.
You know. And so people are looking at me like, you fucker. And I had no toilet. I didn't buy any toilet paper. So that was like the most, that was just, I didn't think about it, but that was the most self-conscious moment for me. Cause I was like, I felt like weird, you know, and am I doing the right thing? Am I overreacting? I don't know, you know, and I didn't want to be hoarding or anything like that. And I understand that like it is hoarding. It is in a way. And it shows like the truth of it is like, if you're really self-reflective about it, this fear or this feeling of like say that it turns into something like Italy where people are just falling down like by the thousands, you know, like you just get into that. For me, it was like I just kind of got into a protective modus, and I wanted to make sure that in the pharmacy, like we had plexiglass, so we kind of did that. But like the rhythm itself of being home with the kids, because that's my part in the family, since Franzi has to be in the pharmacy, and we had to switch around we have a Polish employee.
Okay.
And so when they closed the borders,
All right.
then we had to decide, like, is she going to stay in Poland and not come to the pharmacy? So Franzi will have to pick up her shifts because she's a pharmacist. So, like, we always have to have a pharmacist on call. And so that really basically puts Franzi, like, full in focus, you know? And so it's a personal decision for her and stuff. And so that was like kind of that. It worked out pretty good. She's actually staying in a house here. She's decided to stay in Germany.
You're kidding.
So they closed the borders to Poland, and she stays here in Germany, which is really helpful for us.
Yeah, serious. Good.
But like with the kids and stuff, I think for me, I just feel super lucky that that all we have to do is fucking watch TV and sit home.
Stay inside.
Stay inside. Like,
don't go out. Don't go shopping. Don't go to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you
Like,
say
how is
so.
that for you guys?
Same.
Yeah.
Family life's been great.
Yeah.
No stress at work. I come home I don't even go out. I go outside and play with the kids. And
Yeah.
we're gonna put another swing set together. We closed our garden down at this. We had a little garden plot. We took the swing set there, integrated it with our first one because it's super.
Super
Even
swing set.
yeah. So now it's like, oh, I gotta go back to work in a couple of weeks, and we're like,
So do you have the date when you're coming back already?
well, it's
Kind of Germany's just kind of starting to roll that out, huh?
Yeah, they say kids have got to go back to school for the most part, and it may change because I went to school today to talk to people, and we were testing out this online testing program for kids and submit homework online. It's the new thing for this area, at least.
Yeah, that's cool, actually. That's kind of a cool side effect. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. We're done anything but better than what we have now, which is nothing.
Okay.
It's really low tech. It's scary.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that the plan may change next week, but they're thinking like all kids from grades 5 to 9 will be there on May 4th, Monday, and the 10th graders and up go back for test preparation on next Monday, the 27th of April.
Okay, so they'll do the
They'll roll it
10th
out.
to 12, or 10th to, is it do we have a 13th class still in Germany?
I'll have to look at Eric. I'm not sure.
No.
Gymnasium?
13. Klasse? Ist nicht mehr, ne? It's nur so.
Okay.
So like 10 to 12th class grades are going to go back on the 27th.
Yeah.
And if everything stays how it is today, then it'll go, the next wave will be back down, like down to 5th grade classes.
Right.
So like my son who's in 1st grade is not going to probably go back at all this year.
I don't know.
That's and I assume that I think so too. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I think that they're gonna say like
Wow.
for the grades underneath because like for him it's like they're gonna go back for 8 weeks max
Yeah.
or 7 weeks.
Wash
And-
their hands ritually every day.
Yeah, that's also a good side effect. It's like, dude, that we should be washing our hands like every day.
Yeah, the schools don't have enough soap. They don't have enough paper towel. It's a mess.
They don't even
It's a
have
mess.
enough soap and paper towels.
Yeah. The big thing they were talking about today is I teach kids at grade 5, and the classes are 30 strong.
Yeah.
And if you've got that social distancing thing, you cut the class in half. What does the other half do? Do they sit way back? Do they wait at home for a couple weeks and then we rotate classes?
Yeah.
Logistically, the small building we have just can't do it. It's
Yeah.
overloaded. That's why they're trying this online thing.
Yeah.
It is cool, you said, and you're right, because my old school, and that was about 40 minutes away. It was a brand new building, 2 years old, I think. And everyone was wired. Every room was wired, had Wi-Fi. Every teacher had a computer. You could throw YouTube up and do a quick English lesson and just
Yeah.
do undertitles. It was great.
Yeah.
And now I go back and we have chalkboards.
Yeah.
No media, nothing. No, it's hard to get a working socket that works electricity in the walls. So you got to be careful what you do. Or, if I even bring a slide projector in there, it might be. Anyway, this is a kick in the ass to the school. It's great. We've got now somebody going online. I can submit stuff online.
Yeah.
The big question is if the kids can work it at home, if they have a computer.
Yeah.
If they have a tablet, something to work on it and submit it back to me,
Yeah.
big question. Total difference from the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like just watching my son deal with it as a 1st grader, which again, it's not so critical, but it's still like he has homework and he just is like, oh, come on,
Right. Yeah. His life's hard.
Yeah. And you're sitting there and I'm like, dude, let's do this now. And so the 2 girls, like my little 2-year-old and She just turned 2, and then Carly's turning.
happy
she's
birthday.
turning. Yeah, and she's turning. Carly's turning 4 this week.
Oh, cool.
And so you got these 2 girls. They're like, 9, mine. That's mine. No, that's mine. I don't have to talk to you about that. How girls can be.
Yeah.
That's mine. And
Brutal.
and they're both dressed up as Elsa
Right.
from Frozen, and they're walking through the house and
Awesome.
doing this whole thing, and they're like, and Tristan's like, well, they don't have to, it's kind of
yeah.
like, well, I have to literally put them in front of the TV, and they get to watch TV, which is like cool time, and he has to sit there with me and learn, and I'm like, yeah, man, but how do you explain that to like a first grader? Like, well, you would be in school all day
that's
anyway,
right.
and
You're
he's
lucky.
just like, yeah, well, I'm not.
But I'm the teacher.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Yeah. But it could be like it's just a luxury problem.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it could be way like my thing that like I don't want a virtue signal. I just feel bad for like the non-developed countries and the poor people, and like not the poor people, but just like the people that don't have the opportunity to just stay at home and chill out. There's people that don't have that, or they just cannot afford it. Like it being like, doing the pharmacy thing, we have to like keep it. We have a social responsibility, and it works. It's a part of the health system. As long as the health system is working, which we hope it is, and we hope and that's a good thing. That's why this whole distancing thing is kind of there, so we don't go too over the limit.
Right.
And that's worked really well, especially since we're in such a remote area. That was kind of the first thing for me. Like, well, we got to make sure that the pharmacy stays on its level, right? Mm-hmm. You saw what happened in Italy if it didn't. But like all that aside, the fact that like I can just sit at home and just make sure that the kids keep their distance from people, and just when I go shopping, just take care of that it's a luxury, and I should take this luxury into consideration. Just think about all the other people that don't have that opportunity, man. That's hardcore, And then to be like, well, I need to go food shop. I don't even have any money. I don't get any money because I'm not able to work. Mm-hmm. And so in the States, like they're giving people cash, right? They're giving them like $1,200 or something like that. That's like a drop in the hat for most people, Like
it's a
for
week of groceries for us, so something like that.
And the groceries are more expensive in the States too. I know that for a fact. At least, I mean, California. No matter
totally,
what,
yeah.
But pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that's and then to go to the next level for me is like go to Africa and stuff like that, like where they have no opportunity to get out of it. And if it gets hit there, which it's gonna have to eventually, or maybe not, I don't know. But what happens when the virus gets there? Is that something that like is it just gonna clean it out? Like are you just gonna have like everyone's just gonna fall over? Are you just gonna have like this herd immunization happening?
It's pretty scary.
That's
Absolutely.
I hope that. Well, I'm pretty sure that's probably not gonna be a good thing. The only thing that maybe might help, if I'm not incorrect, is that like we had all this international flights, and we had a lot of, because we're a developed country, we had the spread of it. Mm-hmm. Definitely happened.
True.
This globalization that we all love so much, or and we saw what that. So maybe like in these remote areas where people really are kind of quarantined just in general to begin with. Right. Maybe it's kind of like what happened here. Like once they closed the borders down, you saw everything just kind of chill out, and that was a good thing. Mm-hmm. I was really happy that we're here.
Not so much movement.
Yeah, and that we're out in the middle of fucking nowhere is a good place to be.
Yeah, that's that kind of laissez-faire thing like we talked about earlier. Like maybe that's a good thing. I mean, we're not jet setting as much to the USA anymore, and
that's the only. Like, my parents had a trip planned to come out this summer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
is it still going on, or
probably not?
Okay,
I don't know. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah,
probably not, huh?
My dad was supposed to come in April to surprise the kids, and we didn't say anything to him about it, and we still haven't. They might know now after this, but
they're like, Dad.
Yeah, you jerk. 27th of April, he's gonna roll in here and pick him up at school. It's gonna be a big throwdown or blowdown, whatever. Yeah. And it just didn't come to pass. So he ditched the ticket, and I feel bad, but he would have been like perfect target for this disease. He's 74, older guy coming to an area that's going through Berlin. Yeah, airport's probably was rife with stuff, and I'm sure in the States, he would have left from Boston.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's better. So he just chill. So is he like? Does he just stay at home and he understands it? He's like, it's cool. I'm just chilling, waiting it out.
Yeah, it took him a lot of convincing. Apparently, I talked to my sister because there was a New York Times article I sent to him before the huge travel crackdown, and I said, you might want to read this article and consider your trip. This makes it look like you shouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Your choice. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's tough. With my grandparents, it was tough.
And he didn't reply, but I talked to my sister. I'm like, look, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but I sent him a bunch of stuff that he shouldn't do this. He's like, oh no, it was really bad over here, and he was really belligerent, and he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And until basically Trump stepped in, and said no, nobody's coming back from Europe, basically. So
yeah. So then that
was
for him. Like, I just can't come back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could have flown out, and he could have stayed here, but I don't. If he got sick.
Bad.
No insurance, I mean, he probably would have travel insurance, but how long would that? And if he died here, I would not want to. God forbid. How do you do an international funeral? I don't know.
These questions. It's weird though. You actually have these questions in your mind. Huh? You actually think about it, like you thought. I don't know. Like your original question was just, did anything change or anything like that? And I guess that's one of the things that you would hope that we would learn the hope. I'm too optimistic.
Me too. I'm unfortunately, maybe.
I would believe that we as a society will learn from our mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates in 2015 was on the TED stage, had a fantastic. Did I send you that?
No, I heard about it. Oh, maybe he did send it to me.
He had
he foresaw this, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he obviously couldn't get down to the point of what we're at now, but he basically said like respiratory disease, we're not prepared. We need to, do this, and that. He had like a whole plan laid out. And the TED Talks I think are always like 15 minutes or something like that, but it was eerily close to what the situation is now. And so his foundation has been doing, they're doing like, I think they have like 8 or 9 different vaccines that they're working on, trying to test it out.
Fabulous.
So he's on like his source of information. Because I'm a tech guy in the family, and I kind of always had that background. When I say something to my family, and like what Bill Gates said, they're like, "Oh God," Microsoft boss. Like, what does he know about? Because I'm talking to like a pharmacist family. They're like Bill Gates, But you have to admit, like the interview that he gave. Again, he was just very level-headed, and he made the point that we're just lucky that it's not such a deadly, so it is deadlier than any flu. So this whole thing about the flu thing, like it's definitely deadlier percentage-wise than the flu.
Yeah.
At least what they know. But that's the thing, is like they don't know a lot of stuff, right? Because it's just so everything that he's saying, he was doing a really good job of just saying like, just stay home, just stay home. Like, he's doing video conferences. He's like a multi-international conglomerate guy. He said he's at home. He's in his office on a video conference with everybody.
Smart guy.
Yeah, I thought that guy for me was kind of that, and this NDR guy. This I always forget his name. Did I send that to you too? No, I send you
NDR.
Yeah.
Let me look.
What does NDR even stand for?
Norddeutscher Rundfunk.
Oh, there it is.
So I was thinking NPR and NDR. Oh, NDR, serious.
Yeah, this is das Coronavirus update from Christian Drosten.
Update is a DAS? DAS update. All right. Huh.
And so he does like when's the last one he did? He did one on Monday. So Herde Immunität noch lange nicht in Sicht. So he'll go on. That's 45 minutes, and he's interviewed from also like a naturwissenschaftliche Sicht. So the woman that does it is also very
cool.
She's on the level, so she asks some like good questions, and it always kind of one episode leads to the next, and he does just during the week. He has a family. He says he's got his kids at home, and he tries to have them meet with other kids still. It's just
cool. Huh.
So it's kind of like a level-headed, source of information. Where my tendency at the beginning was to be really scared about it. That's just I don't want to admit that. I want to be like, oh fuck it, it's all fine. But
we got kids though, so
that was the thing that always is for me hard, is having the kids and having to try and judge that, because you're making the decision for them.
It's scary for them.
And I didn't want them to have to be scared about it. I didn't be like, hey kids, okay, we're gonna make it. I didn't want them
Get in the bunker.
Yeah, I didn't want them to even notice.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they have to like stay home for them was a fun thing, and we all just had a good time. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then like Franzi would come home, and she's like so dealing with the situation every day. So I didn't want to like sit there and be like, so Corona plan. But I kind of did that at the beginning, and then eventually like once
Smart.
well, I'm glad that you're on the same level.
Yeah.
Like some people, see it as like way overbearing and they see it as an infringement on their rights, right? They're infringement on your right to be a free person. And
True.
ride motorcycles and do all that stuff. And I'm down for that too. Like I see that too. I get that point. I don't know. That's what do you mean? I don't. What do you mean? I don't know. I do know, but I just respect it. Like,
well, I think I was going through the panic phase. I think the first 2 weeks, like you were, Italy was in free fall. It seemed.
That's what fucked me up.
And
was Italy. Yeah.
I guess I wasn't following the news much, so I didn't know who was getting hit, if there's a group, or if the kids are getting hit, or if we're passing on to the elderly, or where are these people and where are these cases, and everybody. And I'm working at school. Kids are looking at me. I'm looking at the kids, and usually I'd high five all my students. What's up? And
So the first
we don't do that anymore. That's you're the.
That's true. Actually, you were here, right? That
Yeah.
wasn't that kind of.
It was weird.
It was already like the beginning phases. That was when we did our
Yeah.
episode and we had the map of China.
That's right. Yeah, it was like a week later. The shit hit the fan. Like,
Yeah.
No school,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what is going on?" So I
And
was
we
in
were
your
kinda-
I was in your camp. Like nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew the target groups. Nobody knew. I didn't, at least, and I wasn't really going out there to find my school day was so crazy at night. I just fall asleep, get up at 4, and start the craziness again.
Do you get up at 4 in the morning?
Yeah. Yeah, just to get you to learn lesson plan. Well, we have so many kids in the house. I try to do it at night, and they're crawling all over me. And who's this kid? And what are you doing, Daddy? Oh, I'm trying to concentrate on grading this essay in German or whatever the story is.
Okay.
So it's intense. So I need mental time. So get up at 4.
That's cool. I was gonna like. I like that. I was thinking
it's
about
great.
it. Do you love it? Yeah.
Oh, I do. Yeah, it's like the best time
It's
of
like
the
your
day.
time.
I love my family, my kids, but it's just
No, that doesn't take you away from loving your family and kids.
it's
To give
like, make my coffee and enjoy sunrise.
Do you know this Jocko guy? He's such a. You probably don't know him. He's a freak.
German guy?
No, he's an English guy.
Oh.
It's an American soldier guy. Jocko Villanik.
Oh.
If you go on his Instagram, look at that.
All right.
What does he do
It's-
every morning?
He wakes up at 4:20.
And he puts a picture of his of his hand watch. Like,
right.
Wake up, bitches! I'm up.
Interesting.
So that's his thing. He gets up at 4:30 every morning, 4:20, right on the dot. Takes a picture of that,
Huh.
and he's like this
Proof.
whole look at that picture. That's just like an artist.
Sure,
rendition
yeah.
of him.
That's funny.
He's
So hardcore.
He's definitely a murderer, but he kills it like in the discipline area, like his audiobook
Oh, wow.
and stuff is just all about this, just being real mentally tough, right?
Yeah.
And I think part of that, what appeals to me, is this getting up in the morning, because you actually get the instant, positive feedback from that. You have this hour, or how much do you time? How much, like an hour, 2 hours, maybe 6 o'clock. When do the girls get up, or the kids get up?
Oh,
5:45.
yeah,
6 o'clock-ish?
5:45, 5:30 sometimes.
So you have like a good, clean hour and a half of like just your time. So is it always full with just work, or do you actually have time to kind of like be just be Marc? How Marc used to be back in the day.
Like,
do you know this guy anymore?
No, I'm thinking, how am I going to get back to that? That is crazy. It's so unnatural. 1 hour of hard work, and then like lunch, get personal grooming, pick some clothes, iron the shirt.
Yeah. And then it's
make
like
sure
this,
everything's
and then the day
in
goes, and
order.
you're ready to roll.
Pretty much. Usually, and then unless somebody wakes up if I'm kept awake all night, which is getting to be a problem.
Yeah, that sucks.
our
So the
s-
4 o'clock thing is definitely, then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
then it's work. Then.
Let me ask you a question. Is your youngest still sleeping in the bed with you guys, or has she got her own bed? Or because ours is with us still. He's 2.5, and it's like I get kicked all the time, and he's screaming about his Hot Wheels cars that he doesn't have with him. He's hallucinating, but last night it was like,
He's hallucinating.
mine autos. I'm like, you don't have, what are you talking about? Your autos, mom, grandma, and,
Yeah.
and then I'm awake at 1:30 till 3. And that would kill it. So sometimes.
So are you one of these dudes that can't, like dudes or people, Franzi's like that too. Like when she's first awake, it takes her a good another hour and a half to fall back asleep. Like I just fall right back asleep.
Oh, you've got the gift. My wife's the same.
I'm just like,
she can't even be awakened to begin with.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, really, get out. You gotta
She's
take
like,
care of this.
you're awake. You know, like I do the whole thing where I'm in bed, you know, and I'm like, I'm awake, but I can just fall back asleep. And Franzi's just like, and then she'll just get to that point where she's like,
That's it. Yeah.
and she gets out of bed, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, are you awake? Oh, I'm sleeping. I'm so." And I'm like, but we were both awake. Now I fucking just gave my secret. No, but that's the thing is she knows. Like
now she knows.
But she knew that thing too. That's the thing. It's like she knows that I'm awake, but I can go right back into sleep.
Oh, you're so lucky.
So it's actually like unfair of me. I should just get up and do it and come back and fall back asleep because Franzi literally is like you. She'll take an hour and a half to. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And with us, we almost bought a new bed that is 9 feet wide.
Wow,
So
really?
that kind of answers
What's that called?
Answers your question, right?
Whoa.
To who sleeps.
Is it
with
like
who.
2 kings next to each other? What is that called? What is
It's
it?
called. Well, in Germany, it's not as easy because it's like in the States. I think you could just get like 2 queens and put them next to each other. It probably is almost
Wow.
9 feet, right? I don't know,
Sweet. Sounds it, yeah.
but it's called like a family bed.
Nice.
And so we
Smart.
we were looking. No, we ended up not buying it.
Okay.
I actually like put the order in and like had it, and then I had to like cancel it, and I'm like, it's stupid, you know, because the thing is, the reason you come up with this idea is because the kids
Oh, yeah.
are sleeping in your bed every night.
You're driven to this. You're insane.
we do this. We had this thing in the house for a while. It's like we just would play like musical beds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're in that right now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
it
like, well, I'll
sucks.
fall asleep with Carly.
Yeah.
Just kind of give her like a 10, 15 minutes, and she'll fall asleep. If she took a nap during the day, then you're up until 9:30 with her.
Okay.
She's like, that's how it is. And then with the little one, she's actually the easiest. She sleeps. You put her down. You can walk out of the room, be like, go to bed, and she'll be like, for 10 minutes, and then she'll fall asleep.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
All right.
And Carly was never like that. Carly was always, and Tristy was kind of like Maggie, where he kind of fell asleep pretty quick.
Okay.
But now he's 7, and so he'll just like come down. He'll sleep in his bed for like a half hour, and then he'll come down. And so now we have like this little mattress, like a
cute.
mattress at the edge of the bed, and that's like his. Cause I cannot sleep with fucking kids in my bed, man. I cannot do it. I hate it. Like the reason we have musical beds is I just decided, since this is the whole thing, a kid every night, and I'm like, and I have to sleep alone. I'll get up and help with the moment, but when I go back to sleep, I want my bed, my mattress. I don't want to sleep in the kid bed. It's like that thick and made out of foam.
Sagging in the middle.
So I just gave every kid has my mattress. I just got my mattress.
No way.
I just gave one to every kid.
Smart.
So whenever they're not sleeping, I go sleep.
That is great.
So I'll sleep in my son's bed. I don't care. I'll sleep wherever.
So we
literally have music.
That's great. Smart, man.
But ever since we got back to the house, I've actually been able to stay in my bed a lot lately because we got like this. It's kind of like an air mattress, but it's
cool.
It's almost like a pool, like a air pool, you know, because it's got like the walls.
Okay.
It's kind of like, and it's just for kids. You as an adult, you would be.
You can't
like,
fall out of the
It'd be
bed.
like being in a boat. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking, huh?
Yeah, but for Tristan, he's just at that height where he fits in there. And Carly, so last night that was it. There was like Carly and Tristan and Maggie sleeping alone by herself, the 2-year-old, and Carly's sleeping on the other side. My wife's sleeping on this stupid crack that you have because you have 2 mattresses in Germany.
Yeah.
So she sleeps in this crack.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God.
I can't handle that one. Yeah.
She woke up this morning. She's like, I'm like, what's wrong, honey? She's like, oh yeah, I slept on the crack last night. I don't know. It sucks.
What do they call that in German? Is it the Riss? I don't know. The Falt?
What is it called?
Das ist die Besucherritze.
The bazooka.
Oh, nice. So the German language
Yeah,
is
because
so
you have
awesome.
you have the guest crevice or something like that.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
You put the 2 beds together. Oh, man.
Do you guys have the German style, or did you actually get like a big mattress,
She got the big mattress. I don't know what size it is, but
like the big one?
yeah,
so you
it's
don't
monster.
have 2.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not California King because I'm 6'4", and my feet
You are a
hang
big
over
guy,
the edge.
yeah.
It sucks. I hate it. I just can't, my feet are always hanging over the edge, and
Yeah.
But I can't complain. It's good.
I know it's kind of funny when you like poor me.
It's cozy.
But being a big dude, I gotta look at Franzi's. Oh, she's cool. Yeah, being a big dude is how is that in general? Like I'm like this perfectly average sized guy. I'm lucky when I fly. I'm lucky I can kind of get in my little thing. So when you fly, it's like
it's weird.
Yeah,
it's hard to find shoes and pants and.
How tall are you? 6'4"?
6'4". The inseam is 36, and usually you can only get a 34. Stuff on in a store.
Yeah.
And shoes, I have a 14, which is a 49 in German. And like I remember going to Karstadt when it was still open in Berlin, and I was like, "You guys have this size 49 shoe." And there was customer service here in Germany. There's like 4 people all kind of clustered, the staff, and they're ignoring the customers in Berlin, And I'm like, "I need help. Does anybody?" They all looked at me like, "What do you want?" And I'm not a diss. I love Berlin, but it was funny what they did next. I need a 49 size shoe. Yeah. You're like, who wears a 49? I was like, me. And they looked at my clown shoes and they're like, oh my God. No, we don't. We only got up 46 or something. Size 12, like in the USA. So you always have to get stuff online. It always comes in. It doesn't fit. Send it back.
No.
It's not good. It looks cool for girls. They're like, oh, you're so big.
Yeah. A big
and
guy.
tall and
Yeah, tall and strong.
And I'm hitting my head on the door stops and stuff, and and you don't want to go to the wedding because then everybody's watching the tall guy who can't dance. My head sticks out, and they're like, "What an idiot! Why is that guy embarrassing himself?" Or
it's like the tall guy complex.
Yeah, I went to Japan once.
Oh yeah,
and I'm on the Tokyo subway.
That's cool. How was that?
It was bizarre, and you obviously stood out, and everybody had black hair. Sometimes they dye their hair blonde, but the majority of people commute are all black hair and this tall.
Yeah.
So I'm head and shoulders above all of them, and my armpits are sweating in the Tokyo subway. I'm like trying not to. And I live in New York, so I know what that's like in Manhattan. But poor people.
That's cool. How long? What were you there for? Was it back in the day?
Back in the day, we had a Trésor tour.
Cool.
And I was the tour manager and one of the DJs. So we played two gigs, one in Tokyo, one in Osaka. Great, and it was just like American bands will go over there like, oh, the Japanese people are so great. They're so not grateful, but they're really into it, and that was the case. Yeah. People just like came up and wanted me to sign autographs, and
you're like, yeah, you got it, Mr. Snow.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like
that's cool.
Bizarre.
I've always wanted to go.
You got to do it. Take the kids.
Yeah.
There's the animation's one thing, but the people is just really interesting, and I understand. I mean that's like similar to Germany, where you get that post-war economic miracle going on.
Okay.
So very disciplined people. They're steeped in tradition. Very like how they like. Weirdly enough, about the animation thing is a lot of their stories center around the atomic bomb or an atomic bomb, like Godzilla. Kind of a mutant that comes around from this. So they have this like weird consciousness, and I shouldn't say weird because of being Americans. I know where this comes from, but
that's interesting. That's
very
true. When you say that, it makes sense that like that Godzilla kind of originates from this story of
radiation.
Yeah.
And mutation, and a lot of these animation stories come. You see a lot like Star Blazers was another one, and how the Earth's being polluted. And if they don't stop the flow of radiation, so a lot of these like weird, I say weird again, but
well, I mean,
understandable. Like
it's weird for me in a way because they're so encapsulated from the rest of the world. It's like its own little universe there,
Oh yeah,
like this island has kept their culture so.
Oh yeah,
it's not like any other culture. It's not really mixed in. It's even from all of the Asian cultures, it's the one that stands out for me as the most like. Different,
totally,
and I could just imagine like setting your foot off, like getting off the airplane and just being like, oh,
yeah,
whoa, like I'm in the parallel universe feeling, and I want to like, but I hope I don't have too much expectations. Like, where's this parallel universe feeling when I get there? But
it's true.
But I can imagine that. Yeah, that would be or like the I remember like 5 or 6 years ago, even remember reading like an article that like Tokyo is the whole city's free Wi-Fi. So technically, technologically, like, advanced in that sense. Like,
It's mind blowing.
but then there's other thing that I saw where like the dude, because of this the sexual there's like this cultural kind of, they're not allowed to be open about it or whatever, and so there's like these rooms where people will just kind of go to these rooms and they'll sit on and they'll just do like virtual stuff. They don't, or just watch like kind of
serious
virtual porn, or porn, and it's always like this kiddie stuff. It's always like these cartoon kind of porns and stuff. Not with kids, but like just it's always cartoons, and it's never like the dude. And there's a whole like there's something there that I don't. It's just weird. It's just weird for me.
Yeah,
being like coming from even a relatively conservative like sexual atmosphere in California is also relatively like you can't like compared to Germans where you go to this
and
you're naked,
topless magazines, like no big deal.
Oh yeah, we got those too, huh?
Oh, where? Right,
but like you know what I mean, like in Germany for me it was very liberal here compared to even California.
Yep.
But then look at the Japanese, the sexual culture in Japan, it seems very, very like hemmed up, like
yeah,
like you you can't talk about it, you can't be like sexually open, and it's
interesting, huh?
I just kind of caught that like a couple months ago. Again, I think it was like some documentary on Netflix, and I'll Google that so I don't know, so I can kind of just quote it right. Well.
Oh yeah, I always saw the stereotypical like that fascination for like school uniform girls.
Yeah.
And they'd always show up in these animation things. I thought that was I guess I want to say weird, because why would like the Japanese businessman be so hot after probably underage girls? I think that's a little weird.
Let's see if I can just read it.
I think this whole school stuff is where this hentai shit originated from. It's called hentai. This is
hentai. That's the porn in Japan.
And that's the level behind that, I think, where this goes completely weird.
Wow.
Yeah, you can say the word weird. It's not bad.
The girls get tentacles and gets to krakens and these dudes. Oh,
it just
I'm
turns
sweating because
it's a very like it's a genre where it's like because they're doing it's kind of like South Park, you know how like South Park can get away with so much shit because it's because it's animated.
Yeah, nobody's getting hurt.
And hentai turns into that too somehow. Like the hentai can be so perverse because it's just a cartoon. So who cares if the girl's getting fucked by an octopus?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And sometimes you if you look it up, these anime girls are in this series. They're demons, and demons are 140 years old, and this girl looks like she's 11 or 12, and but it's okay to watch this kind of stuff because in her dimension she's
140 years old.
Weird.
I'll read it. But it's weird. I typed in something. What did I googled something? I think I
tentacle.
I googled sexual culture in Japan. And then there's actually a Wikipedia article called Sexuality in Japan. So I'll just read like the first. Developed separately from that of mainland Asia and Japan, did not adopt the Confucian view of marriage, in which chastity is highly valued. Monogamy in marriage is less important in Japan, and married men often seek pleasure from courtesans. Prostitution in Japan has a long history and became especially popular during the Japanese economic miracle, as evening entertainments were tax deductible. Yeah, man.
Business expense. Write it off.
Decreased sex drive in the 21st century has been blamed for the low Japanese birth rate and declining growth of the Japanese population. And so the geisha, right? Geisha were forbidden to sell sex, but have mistakenly become a symbol of Japanese sexuality. Pornography, Shanghai film, hentai, the genre of erotic known to the West as hentai, was invented in Japan. International reception, prostitution, geisha, fetish scene. Homosexuality, politics and law, AIDS, STDs. Wow, they go really into everything. Decreasing sexual activity. It's interesting that the reasons for this decline in sex interest are still widely discussed. There are many theories and different contributing factors. A large part of it may be attributed to the fact that in most respects, men and women live very separate lives socially, and there's little relaxed contact with the opposite sex outside of school ties or friends from the office, and in turn less opportunity to freely mingle without commercial transaction through the sex industry. Whoa.
Wow, that's a huge sentence.
Yeah, this combined with the young man's growing resilience on pornography can be thought to have a large impact on the real-world sex interest due to this overstimulating effect. Right? In global context, 2005.
Hentai.
The largest condom found the Japanese had least sex. Japanese had the least sex in the world. From Durex, this condom company, they did a
Bankrupt in Japan. No.
Yeah, in a global in 2005 sex survey of 317,000 people in 41 countries conducted by Durex, the largest condom manufacturer in the world, found that the Japanese had the least sex in the world at 45 times a year, with the second to last country of Singapore.
Once a week, less than once a week.
That's a bummer.
So instead of your sales going like this, they went like this. It's kind of.
Once a week.
And the world average is 103 times a year. So, additionally, the survey reported that only 24% of Japanese respondents said they were happy with their sex lives compared to the global average of 44%. That's kind of what but there was something on Netflix, and they didn't just do Japan.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's why the economy runs so good.
Just strictly business, yeah.
Everybody's
Tax
working,
expenses.
No time to jerk off at home.
Time is money, yeah. It's so expensive to live that they're always working, aren't they? Like working weekends and Sundays and which is weekend.
I remember of something when I was at EMC, and we were in Boston learning. We had like a month of learning the products.
Cool.
And we were the European group, so we had I was part of the Germans. It's kind of weird.
yeah,
to go back to America as in the German group, but we had then guys from Turkey, and we had some Italians there, and so it was kind of like this group. And then our teacher at the beginning, he was telling us about that he had a Japanese group coming there, and because they have obviously offices in there, and so they came to do the same thing we were doing. And so when he teaches, he's like typical American, like, okay, I'm interactive, and like, so if you guys have any questions, just like spit it out, just throw them out there, because I'm like, I need your input. And so he's like starting to do he does like a whiteboard, and he was so cool too. Like that, I could talk about that guy just by himself.
Wow.
He would draw like these hardcore diagrams of like computers and how the cache would work with the processor, and he would take different colors and just made this whole thing, and you could literally, like, I remember just taking my colors like he had, and I would just copy him.
Cool.
Because you could have like a visual. That's how I was a very visual learner, and I loved having
That's key.
Yeah, and he was like, the weirdest thing though, and he went for like an hour and a half, right? So just full on deep dive, and then you get lunch, and you come back again, and you just do like 2 sessions a day with him. And it was just like
intense.
Yeah, it was really cool, but it was also really stressful. And he told us that like he was doing that same thing with them. And then it's time to get lunch. He's hungry. It's like we just burned through like, hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes. Let's get some, now it's no one asked any questions, no questions. And then it's like, well, let's go get up and get lunch. And so the class was dismissed. And then they formed a fucking line.
I just shuddered. Really?
They formed a line in the middle of the class. Like where so he couldn't get out.
These are adults.
These are adults, and seniority. So like the most senior person was the first in line, all the way down to the least senior person, and they asked their question. They asked their one question at a time, and then they did that. They lined it like they did it out of the line. So he's like, our whole lunchtime was gone by the time.
Wow.
So we took them 30 minutes to get through all the questions that they had saved up because it's for them. It's you do not interrupt a presentation. It's just you do not. So it's kind of cool. It's like,
true.
As opposed to like where people are sitting on their phones in our class and people were just Googling stuff and sending messages. We all have computers on and stuff. And it was like kind of the opposite. Right?
All right.
Yeah. But he was like, it was eye opening to him. And I never forget that story because it's just a huge cultural difference there,
I'd go to Japan, take the kids. Yeah. It's mind blowing, and I recommend go to the city, take the bullet train out to the country, and
the bullet train, it's like super fast.
It's like normal, yeah. You're sitting there. No, but you're right. You're flying through the countryside, rice paddies everywhere at 300 miles an hour or something, and it's like you can get up and walk around and not worry about getting knocked over or jostling around. So mind blowing. But that was and I'd been all over the world. We talked about that last time, but It was the one place in the world I was actually scared to leave the hotel. Not for any like violence. I'm a big guy. I can take care of myself. But like getting on the subway, even to go 2 stops downtown, and I was in Shibuya, which is like as central Tokyo as you can get, and all like roads meet in Rome basically. So it's like the main axis, huge train station there. But if I was going to take it 2 stops to the main train station for whatever reason, I was worried about getting lost just because I couldn't read kanji characters.
Yeah.
Stuff was barely in English, so I'm matching this kind of a T thing with 2 stripes.
Yeah.
Is that the one, or is that? Oh, don't even bother. And
Yeah.
they're so. Maybe it's not a good idea to go because even in Japan, if they didn't have any English skills, I heard because I'd approach people like, "Do you speak English?" And they're like, "No, sorry," and they're running away.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to hurt you.
Embarrassing for them or whatever.
Yeah, it's a pride thing. So they rather than try half-assed English.
Yeah.
Like in Berlin, it's no big deal. People are like, "Oh, great, you speak English. Let's do it."
Yeah.
They're like, I do not want to disgrace myself.
Yeah.
I'm not able to communicate with you as I should.
That's
I feel
crazy.
bad.
This,
I'm going to run away.
pressure, this internal like the fact that the samurais would what was it called
Code of the Warrior, the Shibuya, the what's it called?
yeah, that's what
Shibuya, no,
what's his name said it last time here. Patrick was
Warrior
here.
Code.
No, like when you kill
nice.
when you kill yourself.
Seppuku.
Thank you.
Seppuku.
Yeah, because you disgraced your master.
Good. Yeah. No,
I love
that's the
this
thing. Yeah, you.
I wanted to get some stuff just for the studio, and I was like, I have to get a samurai.
Nice, dude.
That's like a pretty cool.
It's like the walking coronavirus, like personified.
Why is it?
I don't know. He's just like kind of coming through with his blade. He's just not really no sympathy. He's gonna cut a few people down. Yeah.
I have to say, like, even as corny as it sounds, the Tom Cruise movie, The Last Samurai, that was actually a pretty good movie, huh?
Isn't that factual? That's some of it's based
Was
on
it?
fact. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, that is intense.
It was like a really obviously he's not going to learn to fight with a samurai sword in like 3 weeks or whatever they did in the movie. But like the Japanese guys, and the way that they every time that they had their sword and before they fought, they always did this thing like with their eyes. And I always I've watched that movie so many times.
I'm gonna do it again, huh?
And they would do it like okay, let's go. And it was always like reset, check it out. I'm gonna murder this person in front of me, you know. But he beat like that guy in the movie, and it was like, dude, there's no way, you know.
That is so.
Or he had a good fight with him, whatever.
I think it's really interesting that you're into that film.
Yeah.
Does that have any? What do you see that as like? You were in Germany. Yeah. You're basically the only American
until you show
in
up.
your house, at least, and in this area. And when you walk down the street, you go to Edeka, go grocery shop. You're the only American there, but you're working with people, and you're working here, and people know who you are, and they trust you. And is that similar to Tom Cruise's role?
I never thought of that before.
At first, I mean, I remember seeing Shogun as a kid, James Clavell, and I thought, wow. And I forgot the actor's name, but he's taken off the boat, and they put him in jail. And I remember the samurai sold the warriors who kept them in jail. They peed on them. And I thought, well, that is so hardcore, and they treat the foreigners so garbage-like.
Yeah.
But we've seen that here. Not that anybody peed on us, but
Not yet.
yeah, but like here we are in a foreign area. Eric's with us, thank goodness. We have friends,
Yeah, Eric's our friend.
but
What's
there's
that?
also
I'm there for you.
I'm there for you.
no, it's God, thank
He's a good
goodness.
guy.
But here we are in this like we're foreigners in this land, and we got to win people over.
Now you have that little bit of yeah.
So you can see Tom Cruise's how hard that would be to like.
I think in Japan it would be also.
Oh yeah.
My first movie like that was with Tom Selleck. I think was that his name, where he played baseball in Japan. What was that?
Oh
movie,
wow,
dude?
jeez.
Do you know that baseball movie in Japan? I have to like.
Tokyo.
He was like on his way
B-level.
out. He was like a B-level American guy, and he
Yeah.
couldn't get a contract anymore, and so he got a contract with like a Japanese baseball, Mr. Baseball.
Is that what it's called?
1992. Jack Elliott is his name. Tom
Okay.
Selleck. I don't know. Fucking what I'm talking
That was the look back. Mustache and curly hair.
Is that the same guy that played Magnum PI?
Selleck?
No, Jack Elliott, or who was Magnum PI?
Tom Selleck was Magnum.
It was
PI.
Tom. Okay, so they
It
look
looks similar though,
okay. I'm hoping.
deceptively. But no, I'll have to watch that. That sounds cool.
Well, it was like this kind of this fish out of water movie, just like Thor when he first showed up to Earth for the first time, and he's like has his beer and he's just like, bring me another.
I like this.
This is in his, but he's so fucking awesome. Just be like, just first off, you have to down that fucking huge size gauntlet and just be like, another.
Yeah, that fish out of water, good one.
What's it called? Oh man, I seriously can't see shit. Every time I try, I'm like, is this a waste of time to even try without looking?
I'm shot. Yeah, my vision died long ago.
What's it? Is that Tom Selleck? Why isn't it showing up here? Magnum PI is a U.S. Amerikanische blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah.
that's Magnum PI.
It's in German, so I want to see.
There's also a new Magnum PI
from
2018.
Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah.
Is there? Oh.
But with Jay Hernandez.
Huh.
He totally looks like the same. Sorry, he totally like. Look at Tom Selleck.
That's him.
Okay, man, driving his Ferrari. What a hunk!
Yeah, nice hair on the chest, dude. Nice carpet.
Yeah, dude, and this full on beard, like a full on mustache. Like when I grow my mustache, I look like a cheap porn star. You know, it's like, it's like it gets so weird. And
yeah,
it's just kind of, like his is like just this like a brush, you know. And then Mr. Baseball, doesn't that look the same guy?
Yeah,
is that Tom Selleck? No,
it's got to be.
He looks so the same. It's
Oh yeah, totally. Tom Selleck, yeah, right in the video poster, Tom Selleck.
It is.
Yeah, good. You need an A player there.
Okay, cool. So, look at him now. Damn, he doesn't look happy there.
No, he looks like that dude, Jocko, or where was the guy?
Yeah, he does. He has like the same crazy.
Death.
Thomas William Selleck is an American actor, film producer, California Army National Guard veteran, and National Rifle Association spokesman.
Huh.
Oh shit, he doesn't look very happy in that picture.
No, he doesn't want to be Mr. Baseball.
He's 75.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that was kind of that was my first Japan. Kind of like connection with like an American being in Japan, because he's a huge dude too. I think he's probably 6'4", huge, a massive person like you.
Oh, I don't like it. It's not good.
And so he was walking through, and obviously as a baseball player, he was so cool because I had the same thing when I first moved to Germany, like, because I lived in California. And
the American dream, man. It's like,
well, no, like I had like this ego about it, because I am from this place and everyone thinks it's so amazing, then I just must be amazing, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Not internally, but if I look back on it, like I remember going to parties and not like, just being like, I was 25, 26 when I first got here now, and I had like this false ego about how cool I must be, because everyone just says how cool it is and to be there, and I remember like that in that movie it was the same thing. Like he showed up after being a failure basically in baseball and back home in the States, going to Japan and be like, I'm just gonna whack the ball out of the park every time, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And like the first time he got up there, they just struck him out. Like he was just getting struck out constantly. And
ego check.
Yeah, and it was like, and that's true too. You know, like just because if you're a failure in California, which I wasn't necessarily a failure, but but I wasn't either. I wasn't a success either. It's not like I was a multi-millionaire business guy just moving to Germany. Like I came here and started working for my father-in-law like right off the bat, you know. So there wasn't like I shouldn't have had an ego of being like this cool guy that's just moving to Germany because he just feels like it. That wasn't the situation at all. It would be nice. It would have been nice, like if you think back, if I was to tell anybody to move to Germany, I was saying I could tell any person to like do it. I wouldn't tell them to do it how I did it.
Not repeat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily do it, but it was more like just kind of off the hook, off the fly, off the cuff.
Yeah.
Being just 25 and I was in love with my girlfriend and we're just gonna do what we're gonna do. But you just kind of ad lib it and learn as you go. But it wasn't like a success story of like Like now I'm going to take my organized life that I have here in California and take it with me to Germany.
Oh, right. That's hard to do, though.
Well, I mean, you could though. Like if I could see it now, I could see that path.
Oh.
Like if there probably are. I'm sure out of the 120,000 Americans that are living here, there are a couple that are like.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like I have a lawyer. I got it all figured out. They took care of it. I showed up and my visa's waiting for me. You could. There's got to be that too.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like not everybody that comes out here was a failure and then is now here. And like kind of like the big fish in a small pond thing,
True.
Like
yeah,
like it's like in Pasewalk, we're in a little village here, It's just it's got its capabilities, but like I honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, I haven't like done all that I could do just even for Pasewalk as far as like building out the business that I have here or like building websites for local companies and stuff. You know what I mean? Like even that I haven't reached my limit on. So I'm definitely not a big fish in a small pond. I'm just a normal fish in a normal pond. It's just this. That's kind of, I guess, if I'm being self-reflective with you right now.
No, it's I don't know. Yeah. And Eric can jump in, I think, because here we are. Like, I'm like you. I'm like, I don't want to say average, but I had a project manager job. I got paid well, computer centric, and I don't code, but I can.
You can make it happen. You can get what you got to get done, like with.
I can get around, yeah.
Yeah, and you did the whole thing with the testing, right? That was,
yeah, and I guess maybe that helped, and I know how to type pretty fast, but that seems like working with the colleagues at my school right now. It's like they can't even type. They don't know how to use a keyboard, some of them, or they don't have computers at home.
Yeah.
So by default, we must look like superheroes.
If you have
Eric's of a generation that's different, so you might be able to speak to this better, where you know how to use a keyboard, you know how to program a phone. Thank God. So
yeah,
I guess the impression I'm having is,
I know what you're trying to say. Like with Eric, like his generation, that's something that like for us we kind of grew up with it. Whereas like a lot of the opportunities weren't even here for a lot of people to even like even to have a laptop. I remember actually though when I first got here, Lutz, my father-in-law, he bought me my first Mac.
Oh, nice, good father-in-law.
Yeah, that was a good. I remember that too, and he was like, I remember just working here and having like the oldest laptop in the company, and that was like my laptop, and I remember trying to like code on it and learn like JavaScript and learn how to do web pages and stuff, and then you would install the libraries and it would just take forever to do its thing, and then my job was to just take all of like the medications that they were getting from the and then I kind of just put them on the shelves, and we had like back then we were delivering to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So that was like my job, just to organize, like before we delivered it to the hospital, it was like kind of just, what do you call it? Just like warehouse work.
Okay.
And we had like where our laboratory is now, that used to just be the warehouse. There was no laboratory in there, so it was just full of shelves, and that was my job all day. I'd put like a podcast in, or like I think I used to listen to like Kevin Rose in, what was that podcast I used to have anyway, and just sit there all day and do that, right? But he's like, Remington, come with me. We go to Media Markt.
Wow.
And he bought me like a white, back then it was like the MacBook was white. It was like the all plastic white one.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was like, when he did that for me though, I just remember being just like, that is a big thing.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, how's that for you, Eric? I kind of did the same thing, and I didn't buy it for you, but like I gave you this MacBook, and he takes it home and he learns like Photoshop on it.
Nice.
And he's learning Premiere Pro is what we use for the editing and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's like someone has to give you that chance.
True. Yeah.
Like that's what I never. I never really had that back home. My parents were both cops and stuff, so it was like, well, they could kind of show you how to go down that route.
True.
But that was never really my deal. I didn't really want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. For you, like, how did you even get into the music industry? Like, where did you make that jump from? Like, that must have been just because you landed in Berlin, or was it before that?
It was, before that. Before that, right? College radio. College radio?
Yeah.
Talk about weirdness. But that was like this gift. That was a nonprofit, and you just volunteer your time, and we do these crazy 2 to 6 in the morning overnight shifts to get your teeth cut on, without offending anybody. And You're learning the mixer and the CD player.
So that's why we can talk here for 3 hours without any stress, because you just flow with it.
I try.
That's awesome.
Interview guests, and
Yeah.
you have a band come on. You have to talk to the crazy people in the studio.
That's a good idea.
That was fun. Live music.
Yeah.
But I think that was the original, and we had connections with people in Berlin, and that was Tresor.
That's so
It was
cool.
the Tresor to be. It was the company before Tresor, so I had, and I never intended to be a foot in the door, but
It just turned out that way.
that's a crazy small world. But yeah, but it's somebody dropped this chance of a college radio station that was just open for anybody who wanted to volunteer their time. I was there.
Yeah.
We'd make playlists every week. We sent them out to publications and just talk about crazy. But I can't see that happening in Posval. Like having like here, kids. Here's a free FM signal. Go for it. Here's a bunch of records. Go nuts.
Could we do that?
We should.
Could we like?
I don't know how-
Could you get an FM signal? Like, is it expensive?
I don't know.
Do you
I
need
bet
a,
you
do you
could
need
do.
like a badass antenna, or can you just do it on digital radio?
If we could do it on YouTube, like
Wait.
live, not on this channel, but like if the kids, you could just start up a channel, go live.
Yeah.
Kids screw around in the studio, do stuff.
Yeah. I like this whole graveyard shift
idea.
thing. This whole 2 in the morning.
It's a little
to-
crazy, but you're young and you're
You have the
18,
time.
19, you got the time.
He's up at that time, and that's like the Twitch of today. Twitch is kind of like that in a sense.
True.
I don't know. Did you just Google that?
I wasn't following the conversation out. What it was about to look up how expensive it is to make your own.
Yeah, a
Radio
radio
channel.
station. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is like that in a sense too.
that's the new.
But the cool thing about the radio station is that people will like just tune into it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just it's still people still do that at work. Like OC Vela is just on the radio.
Yeah.
People like when you walk anyone around. Like I remember when I went to Vegas with my friends, they like pulled out their phones, put on OC Vela when we were in the States, and they listened to their radio because that's the
True.
radio program. You know, even if
Yep.
it's digital on their iPhone.
Right.
Like, and Radio 1 is just it's like just a great program.
It
Like, when I
is.
put that on, I learn something every time.
It's a good show, good programming.
There's sometimes if you don't like it, you just turn it off, whatever. But most of the time, it's like if you have it on, like Franzi always listens to it. I'm always in my capsulated world, and then I'll jump in my car sometimes, and it'll just be on Radio 1, and I'm like, I should probably just
It works.
see what's going on outside of my world.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just
Get out of the bubble.
because I have like Spotify and my podcast, and then then it's like that, and sometimes it's cool in a way because you don't have any of the, you're not in the normal flow of stuff. I
Yeah.
like that too. I don't know. Do you watch normal TV and stuff?
No,
Yeah.
nothing.
No.
Unfortunately,
But I don't know if it's unfortunate. I think it's actually probably a good decision most of the time.
I
Right?
think I caught myself uninformed when the virus hit, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on out there. I mean,
That can happen. Yeah.
we're in the school mode and the town mode, and just
Busy
doing
with
what
your
we do.
own sub world.
And then this tidal wave is forming off of in Italy. We're like, what? And in the USA, my dad's trip gets canceled. I'm like, there's dark clouds, and I'm like, I got to watch the news. I have no idea what's going
They
on.
kind of blindsided
What am
you
I supposed to
because
do?
of-
Yeah. Get toilet paper, which is what I did. I just ran out and got a bunch before it was
crazy.
shameful to do so. But what,
Go
do you
ahead.
discuss this with the kids at home? How do you bring this up? Like this terrible thing that's going to cause nightmares? Do you? And Franzi's in the apotheca. She's
Franz is
getting
way cooler than I am about it. Like I'm like
Well, that's
this
cool.
helicopter dad, this freaky guy.
Me
and-
too, man. I don't freak out, but I'm
Internally,
I'm
I'm
like-
you know what the biggest thing that I told this to Eric the other day. Eric was at our house, and we were barbecuing a little burgers, and I found Wim Hof. I knew about Wim Hof before. I had talked to it with like in jiu-jitsu and stuff. We have like these conversations when we're stretching and stuff about kind of like these different guys and different people out there that are trying to do body hacks and hack their health in some way, shape, or form. And we came across Wim Hof a couple times, and I finally like Googled it and got it like this app. Do you know who he is?
I have no idea. It sounds
He's an older dude. He's from Denmark, and he's so check this out.
yeah. I've got it.
He's so cute too, like the way that he talks. But basically, he's the Iceman.
Wow.
This is him.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah. So he's meditating in ice water
Okay.
in the snow.
Yeah, I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what is he? What's his philosophy? As far as I can like kind of represent it to you, would be that we're all just kind of pussies.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it like that, but basically what he says is that like we go from air conditioning to heater to warm to so like all of our environments that we're in are not natural environments, and this is a reason why our immune system sometimes doesn't have its natural strength that it should have.
Oh, good point.
So he puts himself into these like, but he's on like the extreme level of it, but he breaks it down to you for someone like you and me that's in this situation that he's describing is bad for you. How to get out of it? So what's the first step? And the first step is taking like a normal shower that you take every day, and at the end you just turn it on ice cold for 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
The first day is 5 seconds, literally.
All
and
right.
then the second day is 10 seconds. And then the third day is 15 seconds. And this, I kind of got onto this. I had this in my mind, but when this whole quarantine thing came, I'm like, that's going to be, you know how it's like, okay, well, I'm quarantined now.
Okay.
I got to I'm going to do something to just get my mind on something else.
Okay.
So that I don't just, so
Why
I don't,
not? Yeah.
you know, because this otherwise you have like these demons, these fucking voices inside your mind. And if you don't, and jujitsu was that always for me because I would go and get choked basically.
Okay.
And so like
Punish Remington.
Eventually at some point when you tap out, when you get to that point right before you tap out, weirdly enough, there's this breathing method that he does. And it's 40 seconds
Yeah.
of hyperventilating and you start to get dizzy.
Okay.
And then when you finally get to that, I do it 40 seconds. You can do it 30. Every person's different. He says like some people can get to that point within 20 seconds of hyperventilating that you're good,
Okay.
that you've got enough, that you've basically gotten so much oxygen in your body that your body can't take any more oxygen on. Right. So when you get to that point, then you breathe all out completely and you hold your breath for as long as you can. And as long as you can, as long as you you got to push that limit of it's almost like I get to the point when I do it now where I did it this morning. I do it in the mornings now because I've done it at night and it creates so much energy I can't even.
I was gonna say
I can't go to bed at night.
Sure.
So then I push it out, and you sit there and I get to about. Normally my average is around 2 minutes, but if I'm doing good, like this morning, my third round,
Seriously,
I got to 3 minutes.
You pushed it out, and 3 minutes later, you had not breathed.
Yeah, and there's a timer. It's on the app, so it's free on his app. Actually, he gives it to you for free right now. You can do this. He does breathe. It's so cute. His voice. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And he's doing it with you, right? And you're like, and you go in the 40 seconds, and then it's like, now let it out, and you hold it. Okay, 3 minutes. The best feeling is when you finally, like I got to the point where
wow,
you have to sit down. Like you will
I was
fall
gonna
over.
say you're gonna be dizzy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like your hands and your feet, they kind of get trembly. And then I have a problem. If I'm doing really good, I have a problem even touching my phone to tell it to stop. Because I'm like, I kind of look at it.
But I can see.
No, it is funny.
Problem.
Like if you're like my wife will come in and be like, oh God,
Not that again.
First off, it's like you can hear me in the other room. Doing that shit, and then
wow.
and then do it, and at that moment when when you finally get to that point, you breathe in really heavy, like hardcore. You suck it in, and you hold it for 15 seconds. And what happens is, I can't explain it to you. I'm gonna try it, but like you have to try it to understand it fully. It goes like it feels like you jumped in a tub of ice water, and you get like this shock feeling. It's like you produce it in that moment. And your whole system, like my ears start to ring, and the whole system just is like, I got oxygen again. Like
wow.
I'm coming back up. I'm coming back online, and then after like 15 seconds is enough just to like start normal breathing again. And then normally I do 3 rounds of that. So you do like, and by the third round, usually you can do it a little bit better because you what happens is when you're holding your breath, you have this feeling like you can feel your heartbeat like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like just go all the way down to I think I got it down. One time I put my heart rate monitor on and I watched it, and then I got it down to
40.
No, I felt like it. I was like, it's so funny. I'm so stupid. I go to Franzi. I'm like, Franzi, so like,
Am I dead yet?
what's dead, you know? And she's like, she's like, you can't. I'm like, I must have been down at like 30. Yeah.
She's so funny. That's great.
And she's like, no, you weren't. You're not.
Not even close.
You're not at 30. I think I got it down to like under 60, like 58 or something.
But still.
Yeah. I got it here. I took a screenshot of it because I wanted to.
That's insane. Wim Hof. How cool.
Look how stupid I look.
That's you.
I'm breathing, and then it's like, and then you can see the whole heart rate thing going. And then
Wow.
So that's at 72, and then it's like that's kind of normal when you're breathing in.
I gotta check this out.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's so what happens is you do the breathing,
Yeah.
and then you do the 5 seconds shower, cold shower. And then you keep doing the breathing, like you do both at the same time, like not in the moment, but you just do like today I did 3 rounds of breathing and I had 5 second shower, and that's kind of like his program. And then the second day is the 10 seconds with 3 rounds. You always do the 3 rounds of breathing. You could do 6 rounds. It takes about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do 3 rounds, which is actually not that big of a deal. And it's way better than meditation ever was, in my opinion. I've tried to do meditation and I've never really gotten to that, But what happens is now, literally, I can tell you without any lie to myself or to you, I can do a ice cold shower for a minute.
That's hard. It's hard to do.
It's not anymore, because it's like what happens is you want to hyperventilate, and I can be like, I know it's coming, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna be cool about it. I'm not even gonna hyperventilate. I'm just gonna let it hit me. Oh, okay, and then it's here. I made the mistake of going on your head. You don't need to do that because that gives you a headache. Like I just let it hit your chest, and then your arms, and then I go to the back and I sit there. I'm like, okay, it's on my back now. Then I turn back to the chest, and that's just a minute. So I think what he gets up to like 3 minutes cold showers, maybe even doing it without a hot shower. That's like in the next because I always take a hot shower first. Okay. And then we are definitely doing this summer. There's no way out of it. Every person that's going to come to my house this summer is going to take an ice bath with me this summer. So
as long as you're there, I'll do it.
Yeah,
all right.
Because that's going to be fun. I've got this
intense.
I've got this huge horse trough for drinking
outside. All right.
So it's like an outside bath basically. Nice. So I'm just going to fill it with ice and water.
And Eric's there filming us, or he's in the tub.
First, we'll do the antibody test.
Water, yeah. Nice. All right.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, what's the positive effect of it? I don't know. I think it's.
He says here, I just downloaded the app and apparently have the method, in capital M in method, so proper noun, with you wherever you go for consistent practice and maximum benefits, increased energy, reduced stress levels, and a faster recovery.
Yeah, especially for inflammation, right? Like what happens physiologically to your body when you do this, the breathing exercise, is that you change the pH value in your body. Oh. So you become alkaline. And when you become alkaline, the way I understand it is, this is why he had on Netflix, he was in one of these episodes. It's called Goop. I think it's with Gwyneth Paltrow. She has like a series on Netflix, and she does different things every series, every episode. All right. And one of the episodes was him. And so he took he took her employees to he has rituals that he does, and he teaches the breathing. And then in the end, after the week, they jump in ice water all together and survive. And there's and there's always you can always see the edge case out of all. There's 6 people. And you always know that
shirking from the group.
Yeah, there's always the skinny, not so secure. She's probably not gonna make it. And when she jumped in water, right? Everyone was like, let's watch this, right? And it was when she jumped in water, she came up and she was not cool about it. Oh, serious. But she made it out, and she said to it afterwards. She said it was because of the breathing exercises, and I think the alkalinity that you create in your body is also it numbs the pain. Okay. So you're gonna have this knife jabbing pain when you jump into ice water. You're just going to have it. Yep. And when your body's alkaline, it numbs that a little bit. So I think that's why the breathing exercise kind of gives you an advantage. Plus this surprise, this feeling, and the way that your body reacts is the same it's not as it's. I'm sure it's way more intense than when you do the breathing exercises, but it's the same feeling. I can imagine it because when you do it, it just feels like you literally jumped in cold water. I can't explain it any other way. Like have you ever jumped in just ice cold water, like in a river?
I've had ice cold showers.
Okay, but see, that's kind of different because it's coming. It's still
True.
shocking. But
It was.
I don't know.
I haven't done it in like ice water
or like my pool in the summer is super cold because it's like when you first spill, it's like kind of like
morning, yeah.
the temperature of the water coming out of the faucet for the first couple weeks because we just fill it up new. And I've jumped in there before and just been like, where you just get that feeling where just like
wide awake now.
like you're underwater, you're like, I don't know. Anyway, I rambled on there for a while.
No, it's awesome. No, I learned something today. That's good.
I can only, I'm speaking really from the heart. I can only recommend, he was supposed to be in Berlin for Easter Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which would have been
travel ban. Damn,
would never have been able to beat there, and then the travel ban and the whole thing and the Corona thing, obviously. But I'm sure he'll be back in Berlin. I'm sure I'm gonna go. He has different things in Germany, but he's never personally there. I think he does like one tour a year where he's personally there. You got it. This dude, he's so charismatic himself because he lives it every day.
Yeah.
And so I would have to do it with him for me, in my opinion. But
it's gonna be hard for him to be on the road for a tour.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how intense
living in hotels, or I don't know where he lives. If it's like
probably
in the woods near a cold water source or something. I don't know, outside of Berlin.
In Denmark where he lives, like a lot of his videos are at his house, and it's just really, really like humble living.
Yep.
And he's got, I'm sure, he's got a sauna, I'm sure, and an ice bath. That's just the trend I hear. Like out of everybody, like Laird Hamilton, here, this Jocko guy, I don't know what he does. I think he just beats people up for. No, but like there's who else is it? There's a lot of it's from Joe Rogan that I see, and they all talk about anti-inflammatory things to help you from because that's what causes a lot of our issues and this hot and ice. It's always like two camps. Like you have these guys that just love heat, and heat's what helps you, and then you have like the ice guys. But what if you just did like what if you just
mix
both? Yeah, and Laird Hamilton kind of did that. He did like really hot saunas, so just really raise it up, and then jump in the ice bath. But then you got to do it for like 3 minutes.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
But he's like a like a big surfer dude, right? So he's used to like this rush.
Yeah.
Of like I think the adrenaline that you're gonna have when you're jumping into a wave.
Yeah.
It must just be
jacking your testosterone.
It just must be
bang. Yeah.
And to like
death-defying,
to prepare you for yourself like that, whatever you do is never gonna get you there. But like what is this guy training though? What is he doing in the off season? And that's what he does.
Yeah.
So
is there an off season for surfers? They go all over the place. Like in
he's
American winter, they go to Australia, don't they?
Yeah, he's got an off season though. He said it. I don't really know a lot about it, but he like in his off season, they're like he'll have a wave that he's chasing, and I never knew that about surfers. That like because there's a swell, and he knows where it's at, but it's not every year so there's like a wave, and it's kind of remember Point Break, and it was like what was that film, Bell's Beach, and that was like the wave.
It can't,
that he had to like have,
God,
but this is like the real dude. Like I think he's over 50. I think he's in 52 or 53. He's into foiling now. You know what that is? Where they have like the board on top, and then it's like an airplane that's in the water. It's like a fin, but it looks like kind of like an airplane.
No idea.
And so you ride above the wave.
Okay.
So you can ride waves. Like you ride the energy of the wave. You don't actually ride the wave anymore. So you can ride like
foiling.
Yeah. So you can ride you can ride these crazy waves like super fast, but without having to be in this super dangerous situation. You know?
I've been on here too long. I gotta get on TV.
I know it is. It's just Joe Rogan, dude.
It's cool.
I'm like the
hell. I mean,
I just follow this guy like he's. What was I thinking to myself the other day? I was like, Joe Rogan. What does Joe? Oh, you know what Joe Rogan does? That's why we did it. He does the antibody test for all his guests, so that's why we had to do it.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
he has to make fun of myself.
Does he film it?
I think they put something on his Instagram.
All right, that makes sense. But, I'm glad we did that.
It felt better, huh? It felt like we did something right.
Can exhale.
Let's show you this. Look at this. Laird Hamilton
Foiling,
foil
huh?
boarding. Yeah. Oh wow.
Answer a
Thank you.
question.
No,
Never seen that.
Überspringen. So you see how he's riding like way in front of the wave,
All right.
so it doesn't even have to crest, and he's going full speed on that thing. And so he was saying that that's for him at his age, it's like kind of like the best.
Oh,
of
the
both
new thing. Yeah, no bone breakage. Just.
Yeah, because normally you'd have to be like right on the,
Oh yeah, yeah, in the curl.
and he's way in front of it. So he's out of the danger zone, and
Oh,
he's
that's
still
wild.
going like 50, 60 miles an hour or
Oh,
something.
insane. That's awesome.
Yeah. He was talking about like how he broke his ankle, and he's like, I didn't have surgery on it.
Wow.
And he's like, I just let it swell like in the old days, and then that's just how it is, and it's just like, whoa, yeah. But there's something about it because like the reason, like he's like, there's no surgery that's gonna fix it and make it any better anyway. He has a very naturalistic.
Good point.
Yeah, for like ankles and fingers and stuff, like it's kind of true. You know?
Yeah.
Like I broke
It's never going to be the same if you take it to surgery.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is awesome.
Yeah, foiling I think would be something. Obviously for us here at Pasewalk, not the easiest
Yeah,
hobby to
I'll
take
see
on.
it. Not happening. Not happening. But who knows?
Yeah, the OC is very flat, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's a windsurfing place, though.
Yeah, I couldn't do foiling, but windsurfing totally. What else? They've got that wakeboarding. Just that's kind of slowly.
You mean
creeping up there.
paddleboarding?
Paddleboarding. I mean, yeah, not
Yeah,
wakeboarding.
we could do that. I got 2 paddleboards.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right.
I won.
That looks awesome. Perfect.
Franz and I got them last summer, and they're so fun.
There's like the difference between high and low tide up here is nothing. It's
I always thought it was so stupid. I used to.
it
watch-
looks silly.
I
Yeah.
was like, that's seriously supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
And then I just tried it for some reason, and I was like, whoa. It actually is fun.
It makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just, it's not, you don't need to go fast. It's just like the balance of it, and it's chill, you know, and then you can kind of like relax if you want.
Yep.
But it's still, if you want to get a workout, you can make it a good workout, you know.
I respect it.
Yeah.
It does look silly. The first time I saw it, I was like, what is this?
You're sitting on
This
every
is-
feet,
dude,
like all like
you
perpendicular.
can't afford a canoe. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the canoe for me sucks because
It does,
like
yeah.
it hurts my back.
It's not
You
right.
get in there and you're sitting in this plastic seat and you're like bent like an L.
Yep.
And
That's not good.
I would rather do that I'd rather sit on my knees on the paddleboard
Mhm.
if you really don't want to stand up, and you can just you can get a good flow.
I agree. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's unnatural in that canoe just to all crumpled up and
Yeah.
work your upper body to death and nothing with the legs.
Yeah, and the legs are like your strongest thing, right?
You like to use them once in a while. It's weird.
You just use it to kick. There he is.
Oh, he's looking good. Look at that thing.
Yeah, he's a beast though.
Huh.
Laird Hamilton is he has this this workout regimen where he built a special pool in his house. So like obviously because of his network of people that he hangs out with, so he's got like he hangs out with pro surfers and like all these. And his wife is this pro tennis player, Gabrielle Reese.
All right. Jeez.
Yeah. But she's older now too, right? They've got the kids and stuff. And he's like, yeah. So I built a pool, and
I built a pool.
I built a pool with like levels in it. So they've got like the shallow end, and then it just has like steps. And so they do weightlifting underwater, and do plyometrics workouts, but like underwater. So you have like the you have to hold your breath. So
Yeah.
it teaches you how to breathe again.
Okay.
But because when you come back up is when you explode with the weights, like you come up and you get air, and so you have to like time it, and so it forces you to learn how to breathe and stuff.
No
And,
kidding.
yeah, he's got
Clever.
all this crazy shit. You know, I don't know. He did like this ice bath with Will Smith. That was funny. Yeah, Will Smith, Laird Hamilton. This is my shit, man. I don't know if you can tell.
That's good.
He was on Instagram though. Laird Hamilton.
That's
Will Smith.
probably more better connection to reality than Japanese animation with hog phasers. At the moment, my rabbit
whatever
hole.
floats your boat.
Whatever.
man.
Yeah. Honestly, it's
No, I mean, this is like I'm sure that like I'm a little crazy no matter what, but I maybe this breathing thing kind of just helped with the whole external, like this whole internal conversation that you have with yourself when you're at home for 6 weeks and
yeah.
you're like, where is it going? What's going on? You have these fears, and just breathing like that and like kind of, you know, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm on camera now. Shit. I tried it in the shower, like standing up, and I fell over.
Oh Christ! Yeah. Well, who knew? I mean, it takes that battle conditioning, that
And
testing.
my wife just said, "What are you doing? What do you think?"
Oh,
I'm like, "I'm good. I'm
busted.
good. It's all good." I'm like, I was thinking to myself, like, "What a fucking idiot." No one's watching it anyway. and that was the day he came over. Oh, it was like the day after that, and
Big Band-Aid on your forehead.
yeah.
Like,
So I didn't.
Ouch.
Yeah, because I was controlling it really well, and then you make the mistake of just going too far, and then in this standing position, he says it like a million times. He's like, "Find a sit down."
I'm glad you mentioned that to me.
Yeah, because you
I would
just
have done the same thing.
yeah, I just over. You just think you got it. I'm good, and I'm just gonna do like the cold shower afterwards, you know. And then I just fucking just aced it right down like you know. But I've done that with alcohol too, so at least I was doing it trying to. Yeah, I know. It's silly. Like it's kind of silly to think that like it's such a freeing thing, but it could have like if it would have hurt me or something like that.
Yeah.
You would still justify it and be like, yeah, well, you know, at least it's relieving stress, even though I have a huge dent in my forehead.
It
now.
makes sense. It's a good thing.
I don't know. It could be life changing if you keep doing it, but I don't want to like talk about it anymore. But I don't know. Maybe you try it and you tell me what you
I
think.
will.
Like,
I've got me an app here, and
did you get the Wim Hof app? Yeah,
I did. Well, I think it is.
That's the only one, right?
Inner Fire Industries.
Is that what it looked like?
Publisher?
The WHM, the white one.
Let me see. Where did I go to?
Look at that.
WHM. Oops. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. And this guided breathing bubble is the free one, so you can do it for free, and it'll just do like you can do it with his audio, or you can just do it without. It'll just do the countdown.
All right.
But he's just, you know.
And letting go. Breathe in.
I like the voice.
Breathe out.
Isn't he like
Go with the flow.
go with the flow? It's free, so I think I can show this on here because it's like it doesn't cost any money. Then you have the 20-day cold shower challenge, which is just a chart that like you just say, okay, today I did 15 seconds, and then he's got like classes like actual like the original programs, but those cost money. And there's got the 10-week original program, which is like a video course.
All right.
But like I said, like a lot of his stuff, there's a lot of free stuff on here, and until you get all the free stuff behind you, there's no reason to pay for anything really.
Yeah.
And if you're that committed to it, which I think is so cool from him, that you know that he doesn't make you just pay right off the bat, like he lets you get a feel for if it's something that you like to do or not.
Makes sense. Yeah. Rather than sucker you in right away, get your money and then leave you there. Like, yeah, whatever.
Like these online courses of.
Oh, you can't get anywhere without paying for something. You're like, all right, I'll do it. And then it's like, I don't want this at all. Too late.
Too late. Paid for. No returns. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry. I really talked your ear off there.
No, that was good. I learned something. It's good.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really into it.
Really?
I'm into this whole breathing thing, you know.
Breathing's good. Breathing's good.
You want to drink something? I need to drink something now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Eric.
Was darf sein?
I brought my coffee.
Oh yeah, you
I
brought
got
coffee.
some
Your
cold
iced coffee.
Iced coffee.
See, that brings us right full circle. That was the first thing we talked about today. Cold coffee
It's kind of, it doesn't hack my body or jack my system, but I don't know. I like the caffeine.
I'll take a. Can I drink a beer? Do we have beer? It's 6 o'clock somewhere.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll take a beer.
Beer clock.
Who's it on? Is it on me or is it on him? Yeah. Okay, now you're on.
Product placement.
Yeah. So
when I'm on the Real
with
Remington
coffee,
show, I drink
exactly
cold coffee. So the kids aren't terrified. Your wife's a pharmacist. She comes home with stories from the battlefront.
Yeah, she doesn't.
People are freaking out. She doesn't bring that home. You're the helicopter dad, but you're not doing the same thing. You're not, kids, get into the bunker. The tornado's coming. Or it's cool at your house. Situation normal. The kids aren't having bad dreams about the virus.
No.
The virus.
Tristan says it pretty like blatantly. He's just like, Corona. Yeah, it's because of, like, he'll say something and be like, we can't do that because of Corona, you know? He's just kind of straight up about it.
It's Corona time.
But sometimes when he says it, you're just like, damn, he doesn't give a shit, you know? He's just he's totally on reality there, you know?
Yeah, my oldest, Sophia, the same thing, 10-year-old, but she's like, yeah, Corona is preventing us from going. I'd love to go to the Ostsee, but it's Corona. can't do this. I want to go to France. We can't do it. It's Corona.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. This is tragic truth, but
Yeah, that's kind of
It
the
won't
new
be
reality of like we can't, and it's probably not going to get better much fast. It's not. I mean,
I'm
like
wondering.
if they really are going to do the vaccine thing, if they're really going to make that happen, it's really going to work. Then it's not going to get any. Like this whole idea of going back to normal probably is it's probably silly. It's probably never going to
Yeah.
go. It's never going to be how it was before. That just get over it. That's just how it is. We're in this new reality. It's called
Yep.
we made a big mistake, or
The last time I was on the show, we were having a great call. You had the TV screen up here, and we're punching up once in a while the Corona stats.
Yeah.
What's going on? How many? And it was vague at the time. Like,
well, it was
Is it how-
China, right? Wasn't it?
yeah, it was kind of China. Is in the area of China. Some people, but there was no lockdown. There was no travel ban at the time. You moved the screen out of here. Do you still kind of illustrate the facts as, here we have a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
I try to catch up on it. It was like 700,000 or 750,000 cases in the USA.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's peaked. Are you still following the stats, or you
Yeah.
still put it on the
We d-
podcast? or-
I don't. I brought
Probably
my Apple TV home.
I would too. Yeah, times now.
Well, I kind of what I did is I moved everything out of here and I moved everything at home. Like I had the 2 screens at home, I had the camera at home, and I was thinking like, well, I'm just gonna do the show from home, whatever. But it didn't work.
Okay.
It wasn't as cool as I thought it'd be. Obviously, this is awesome here. Like doing that at home was different. The kids were always around, and I tried to do a couple things, but I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna bring it back here. It's a cool idea because then
I thought so.
he can Google for us,
Yeah.
Because this whole thing is kind of like I only see it and then you see it, and no one, even the viewers.
Sure.
The coolest thing would be to take what we see here or what he puts up there for us and
Yep.
throw it on the live feed so that people can see what we see.
Good point. Yeah.
I would do that's definitely
It's coming to that, I'm sure.
it's technically possible. It's just see, I get the nod. But so this is the thing is like how okay, how do we go here? Do German? It's just
Are
Germany,
we
right?
flattening the curve?
Are we flattening the curve?
I don't know where we are.
Yeah.
It looks
Well, I mean,
grim and grimmer every day.
Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Flattening the curve is also the catchphrase for Pornhub for their promotion for premium.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The curve.
Yeah, because
Pornhub
they
Premium
stay
is
home and jack off. Like
Pornhub Premium is free for a month. So
flatten the curve.
Let's flatten the curve.
Stay home and watch.
Go
porn.
figure. I didn't know that. So
this
these
is-
are the
print
epicenters. No,
holding,
this is
of course.
flattening the curve.
The
So this is globally deaths. The red is bad. Huh? I have no glasses.
Coronavirus-Fälle in Deutschland. Also Todesfälle. Es ist alles Deutschland. I would like to see here weltweit. There we go. So worldwide, we've had a confirmed 2.4 million cases. 660,000 are back to being healthy, and 170,000
Oh, that's hard.
have left us.
Didn't we just have like
Rest in peace.
2 days ago 100,000? I thought like recently we just passed 100,000 globally.
I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know. I actually haven't done this. The one that I've been doing, my friend here, Patrick, sent me a pretty cool map. I always go to, it's so funny. I just go to his, like my WhatsApp chat with him.
And that's what's going on.
I go back to that
Good
chat
catch.
and then I go back to the link that he sent me. But eventually it turns out to be like 7 weeks ago. So I'm like, I have to go all the way back to the NPGEO Corona, auf dem Corona Hub from ERS. I don't even know my German sometimes. Prost.
Jeez.
So that's the hub that I always go to.
Okay.
And then it shows like a map, and it's just Germany though. So
Wow, intense.
so what? Well, you can't see it. The
Bayern.
it says the interesting thing is it says like the date from the day before. Like how is it compared to the day before?
Oh, okay.
So if I read this correctly, we have 143,000 cases, and we have 4,500 have left us. Rest in peace. And we have 95,000 that have been healed. So that number went up 3,700 from the day before. So it seems,
Okay.
and from the day before, as far as like cases, we've had a plus 1,700.
That's too bad.
So we have less new cases than cases that are getting better, but we have still from the day before we had 194 deaths as opposed to so from the day before. So yesterday there was 194, and then it just shows that like in Bayonne 1,300 deaths, 38,000 cases. I don't know if you can see that.
I gotta get my glasses. Nah, I'm sorry.
And I just so like Bayonne's the worst, and who's the best?
Like Palm.
Palm.
Nobody's here to infect.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I mean,
You know,
for
and
us.
it's like it's just funny because it just makes people like I said, when I go shopping with my mask, it's like, well, yeah, Remington. Well, there's only been 15 people that, you know, but it's like, why is that the number that has to be like isn't that enough anyway? Like, do we need more? Like, is it? I don't know. I'm just a conservative guy like that. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm some macho dude that. I remember like I literally got laughed in my face.
What?
Like when I was going from the car to the to get the cart. You know?
Okay.
And I had my mask on, and I was just getting ready to go inside. And
Probably one of my 7th graders.
no, it was a
They
dude.
like
It was
that.
a dude that was an older dude who was getting out of his car, as like typical construction guy, like kind of. And he just looked at me,
Drunk
and I looked right at him. You know, I'm like, I know, look stupid. I get it. You know, like I whatever. It's not like this is my style.
Right.
It's
Fashion
not,
statement.
You know, and he starts to laugh. And I'm like, it's funny, right? You know, and I said it in German. I says, "It's lustig, ne?" Ja. Oh, finish lustig. It's funny. I was like, okay. Whatever, man. Maybe maybe I'm just being like considerate for you. Like, maybe I have it. I'm cool. I'm a healthy guy. I do my breathing exercises. I'm alkaline. I'm Superman.
Yeah.
And I could just pass it on to you. So maybe it's just actually I'm just being considerate of you. Did you ever think of that? That's what Franzi said to someone the other day, because people kind of came into the pharmacy like, "Why are you wearing a mask?" And she's like, "It's not really. Maybe it's for you. You're an older person. That is maybe you're a
See?
smoker
You should
and you have
thank me.
diabetes. Maybe I'm just." I could probably handle this virus. The chances are I'm not going to be the one that's going to maybe.
Good point,
maybe
Francie. Nice one.
Yeah.
Slam dunk.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, I appreciate, like, maybe it's not just about me. It's not an egotistical thing. Maybe I'm actually thinking like I'll look stupid just so that I don't pass it on to someone that might not be able to fight it off. Like I can fight it off, you know?
Courteous.
Yeah. It's like, it actually, if you think of it like that, like just put it on. No big deal, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Do the right thing.
yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. It's
I don't know.
courtesy's weird sometimes here.
We've seen a lot of weird things though through
Yeah.
this. I mean, you've seen like this whole toilet paper thing is one thing, but like taking advantage of fear in people, like kind of trying to make money on it,
That's yeah.
like using the situation for a financial gain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it if you need to make money to make a business that's helping, and it has to run. And need money, you need to make money to run a business. And if it's helping people, then it's but like to kind of target that, you know.
Yeah.
Like we saw in the pharmacy, we saw businesses selling like sending us offers to buy masks or to buy disinfection for like really high prices, like 4 or 5 times the price of a normal disinfection.
So
you know?
you're on the cutting edge of that
Well, you would see
weird market.
Yeah, you're just like, no. But then on the other side, I saw an email from a hamburger distillery.
Okay.
I don't know what their name was, but they were cool. And they make alcohol. They're a distillery, so they're like, we'll make you alcohol if you guys need alcohol, and we'll give you. And they give us like give you like a good price.
No kidding. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You know, like
that might work.
we're you know what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
different. That's a different thing because it's like they understand there's a need, and we can just give you this distilled alcohol that we're using anyway, that producing anyway, and we'll bottle it up and we'll send it to you. And
How cool. Wow.
yeah, so it could
medicinal grade,
yeah,
pharmaceutical grade, whatever it's called. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know my stuff, but
Still,
I don't know if
it's got to be. If it's made in Germany, it's got to
but
be.
Franzi
good.
can make it herself, so
Okay,
It's
all
just,
right.
but actually, for a while there was a problem with actually getting the ingredients you need just to make the distilled alcohol. Like we didn't even have, you couldn't even get the ingredients for that.
That's
But now we're
major.
kind of past that. I think the production has gotten itself
Yeah,
back. Like
I bet. Yeah.
it took 6 weeks to kind of. Now we're getting masks again, but now there's going to be like a mask Pflicht. How do you say it? Like a mask requirement for going. I think there's going to be a requirement next week for going when you go food shopping and stuff. I think they're actually.
I heard about that. Yeah. Okay.
But especially if everything starts to kind of go back up, then you're going to need those things to.
The new normal.
Yeah,
so to speak.
There was a sign at Edeka, 30 people at a time in the store.
Okay.
How are they going to control that?
Yeah, they gotta have guards at the post office. It's the same thing. They only bring in 1 or 2 people at a time, and
yeah, that was funny.
So VSV was a VSV guy, WSV security agency.
Was that when you were here? The guy came knocking. That he comes.
I wasn't there.
Too.
You told me about that though. Late night activity.
Yeah, exactly. Because we were here at
suspicious. Those Americans.
The Americans. The 2 Americans have joined again.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously. I thought it was weird. There's no digital presence at my school that I teach at. All of a sudden, these companies are banging on the door, and they want to offer their digital product. A lot of American companies who have experience in that, and this is probably a new market for them. And maybe all of a sudden, the coffers will get opened for spending, because our school, we don't expect to get like a media package delivered until probably until Tristan comes to 5th grade, like a few years down the road. It's like, no, we've got our chalkboards and our. Yeah.
That's hardcore though, especially coming from like.
Oh my God.
And you're like a guy that would use that to its full extent.
Totally, yeah.
Jump on YouTube.
The kids love it. Yeah, it's like I'll throw up a hip hop video with undertitles, and there's a quiz at the end, and they're like, hey, I love English.
Yeah, and it's like such a better way to learn, right? Because you're awake and you're into it, and then it's like multimedia, and then you're learning without really thinking about it, right?
That's the thing. It's kind of this bitter pill, and it's like awesome candy coating, and they're like, wow, America looks so cool, and they're into the culture, and what's it like? And now it's like old school writing on tablets, and I mean not even real tablet. Like I'm thinking clay stylus and
like an actual tablet.
Way back, yeah, with clay tablets and whatever the Egyptians used to write with. Yeah, it's old school. So maybe this is a good cold start or restart for the area. But yeah, companies coming in and like not taking advantage of that, because the German, I don't know if it's just the school amt, the school division, or the school board here that just won't buy into it, or they don't have the money for it, or the tax structure set up so they just can't drop. Basically, should just build a new building is what they should be doing. But
so they're stuck in this old building that doesn't allow them to really have a network.
They're gonna have to tear out all the walls to rewire everything. It's gonna be a disaster. I'm hoping that down the road for Tristan, if he goes to that school, Tristan, that it's tuned up by then, because it's hard to teach, it's hard to learn. But if these media companies come in and sell a good product, and kids can work from home and deliver homework, upload it for the teacher like we could in America, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's something that like in times like that. Also, there was other things that were interesting too, like just not even like the fact that are the times gone where like an executive is going to fly to Japan or whatever just to take that meeting personally? Does he really need to do that?
Good point.
I mean, I get it, like the personal thing, like the vibe that you get when you're making that big deal.
Oh yeah,
it's a multi-million-dollar deal, and I'm not going to just call him over Skype.
That's too cold.
It's not, because it's like I show up and he smells me and I'm there and I'm like, and I have like this energy, and
it's like a show.
It's like a whole thing. Yeah, like I come in and I got my 3 guys behind me, or and we're here to give you the solution. It's this whole gesture that you're making, and maybe and the fact that you flew all the way across the world to do it, and so but is that necessary? Is that, if you really think about it, like, so he's selling them like an IT infrastructure. But he's traveling like he's in the 1950s. To like sell you this IT infrastructure that's for the next 20 years, for the 2040, artificial intelligence platform that's going to create a marketing solution for your business. It's for your customers and blah blah blah. But I still have to like CO2 dump. With an airplane, maybe
between here and Japan, or
maybe I fly like with this G40. What are these private jets?
Oh yeah, sure.
So I'm in a private jet.
Yep.
And it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that's going to stop that?
Good. I was going to ask you too. Like, the kids, this is their world. You know, we're going to give it up to them. Are we going to keep on like polluting it as we have, or keep status quo? How's daily life going to change? Because it's not going to be the same for sure. What do you think? Ian Posivok?
Yeah, I mean, how much
carbon footprint?
Yeah, the carbon footprint thing. Yeah.
Is it going to like international travel? Are some airlines going to collapse? We have fewer flights, or solar powered airplane?
Yeah, right.
Jeez, that'd be fun. A cloudy day.
I think there was something I remember.
I heard something.
Elon made like a comment about that.
Yeah.
Once about this
emissions.
But they're so heavy. I think that's a problem. You can't.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
I don't think you could do
time travel's more easier than that. Who knows? I don't know. How's this gonna? Are we gonna cut down on
time travel? Let's just invent. Let's sit down, Mark.
Damn it.
Let's just get down to the gritty, nitty gritty.
Yeah.
And figure it out, man. It can't just get a piece of paper.
I want my ice bath first.
Yeah.
And
first you got to do the breathing exercise.
Yeah. That's harder, I think.
There was this one YouTube video was like great. Sometimes I go on and I was looking how to make interesting videos and stuff like that. And you go down that rabbit hole and all you have is like this self-fulfilling prophecy of like all these YouTubers make money on YouTube videos on showing you how to make money with YouTube videos.
So I heard about that. Yeah, it's bizarre.
It's like, cool. So I just have to make a video explain how I make videos to make explaining videos that are videos about videos making, and then I make money about that video. So you just, one of them actually, but sometimes it kind of branches off of this thing because it's obviously it's stupid. But I got on this one and it was about time travel.
Okay.
And then he broke down like all the different types of time travel movies there are.
How to make money on time travel movies.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, but and like the different like the Star Trek type of time travel or the Terminator time travel.
Oh.
And it was hardcore to follow. Like I lost interest because it was so he literally and he did it with diagrams and stuff. And so he kind of did like with the arrow and then where the timeline breaks and then did it like in.
Oh, cool.
Did you watch the Marvel stuff? The Avengers
piecemeal, yeah,
because they had like a time travel part in there. And
okay,
so how did that one work, and which one was the most logical? They all have, but they all have a pitfall. Obviously, otherwise we would have figured it out.
Yeah, true.
But
amazing.
It was interesting to like that guy. Seriously, he must have taken like a good month of just planning this video and like trying to break it down and then creating the actual graphics to go along with the.
Wow.
Yeah. So. I don't know. What's your favorite time travel movie? Like
Terminator's a good one. Terminator, that was a good thing. Time Machine, H.G.
Did you watch the latest Terminator one, the last one?
I have not. No,
that was fucking intense, dude.
Really?
I was like, yeah. Did you watch that one yet, Eric?
It's last summer's Genesis. What's it called? I forgot. With the original Linda Hamilton.
Where they do this? Is that where they do the switch?
I have no idea. It looked great. I'm on the age appropriate thing every time I watch a movie. The kids jump in. What are you doing, Dad? I'm like,
Terminator Dark Fate was the last.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely a dark fate. No spoilers there. What was the name of that one you just said? The summer
Genesis or I'm not sure. It's like that was
Genesis.
Okay.
Genesis is the movie?
Yes, Terminator Genesis.
No, I meant the one with. Didn't you just talk about the different one? Did I misunderstand you?
No, I don't know what we're.
I thought you were talking about the like two sisters or something. Or no, I missed you.
No, I think I was just talking about the one that came out last summer.
Oh, okay.
That I think that's
I totally had this one where
Linda Hamilton's back.
Linda Hamilton. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
yeah.
I did not see that
totally
yet. No, it's that I have not seen that yet. It looks good. It's on Amazon. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
Every time,
but you can't watch it with the kids. It's not a kid
thing. Yeah, I'll wait 1 a.m. I'm like, hit play, and then one of them comes. I can't sleep. Oh, what are you watching? I'm like, oh no, headshots and people getting blown away. I'm like, no.
Or he just like
let's do My Little Pony for 10 minutes, and you fall asleep. Oh, thanks, Dad. You're the best dad. Oh God. Yeah. And then I fall asleep.
Yeah. That one.
Time travel. Yeah.
Did you watch the Looper?
No, I haven't. What was the one? There was the Tom Cruise film where I don't know what it's called either.
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise, he trains as like a space marine.
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
keeps
good.
dying.
Yeah.
and he keeps perfecting his thing before he dies.
Yeah, that was called
cool.
something day, something time travel movie. That was something about the day. What was it called? It was.
I like that.
Live, Die, Repeat is what they called it in German.
Okay.
But in English, it was called Edge of Tomorrow.
Right, there you go.
That was a good movie.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I
That was such a cool twist with that. It was like that it was just
Amazing.
an actual coincidence that he got killed in his blood from this alien, and
Yeah.
that gave him like the power to time travel
uh-huh.
because it like, exploded on him at the beginning.
Amazing. Yeah, that really.
And then it was cool. Like if you got if they transferred too much of your blood, because he got in a car accident, then he lost the power to time travel, and that's the same thing that happened to this chick.
Yeah.
And that was
God.
that was like a race against that, and the machines kind of knew. The only thing about that movie that got me was why do aliens that invade our Earth always bring the single thing that of their own demise with them? Like in the movie with Will Smith, where he was Independence Day
Oh, right. Yep.
and the mothership.
Just saw that the other day, actually.
Yeah. So why did they bring the mothership? your intergalactic travel.
Who brought the mothership?
Well, let's just bring the only thing that can ruin this entire process. Let's just bring it right in front of them and say, "Here we are." Like we could just keep it in another galaxy and just keep our little fighter ships. Yeah. And he flies it right. Remember, he puts the picture. The old pilot puts the picture of his family and just flies it right into the fucking guts of that plane. That was pretty badass.
Good shot, Mr. President. Yeah.
yeah. Who
great.
was Calvin Klein? Oh no, Calvin Klein. Something Klein was his name. The president.
I forgot his name, but Bill. I forgot. German director,
Calvin
I
Klein.
think.
Really?
I think. We did the research last weekend. And I was like, oh, and my wife was like, oh, this is the best film. I remember this.
It is a good movie.
And I was like, God, I remember seeing this in 2003 1998, I think, in Berlin in a cinema.
Yeah, it's a '96 movie. That's
like
crazy.
that.
That's from '96, dude.
Crazy, I'm so old. And it was in this Berlin cinema in the original English language with German undertitles. So, but this it was a packed house, and the audience is in Schöneberg, I think.
That's the actor's name of the president, Bill Pullman.
Oh, Bill Pullman. All right.
Oh yeah, Bill Pullman. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Bill Pullman. He had to go there for a while.
Yeah,
that was probably his highlight there. That's crazy. 1996.
Yeah.
Will Smith. Oh, did you see the new Will Smith movie?
Gemini Man?
Yeah.
No.
That's
time travel?
fucking crazy.
Oh, no, we did. I saw the trailer.
It's
and
not time travel, but it's
he's like a clone.
Yeah.
He's hunting himself or something crazy.
And it's just crazy because they do this whole CG thing where it's him from like he
He's a
looks
little
like from
older.
Bad Boys, like the old. Well, he's older, but then he looks like his younger self is chasing him.
Okay.
And Franzi like didn't know about the movie, and so she like kind of came in.
Yep.
And she's like, "Damn." And it really like it's good. Like the movie itself isn't good though.
Oh, you serious? Good to know. My wife had the opposite reaction. We watched the trailer on Amazon, and she's like,
That's so fake.
we're not watching that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
damn, really?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
all
it's watchable. It's not like bad. It's not like a waste of time. What?
Because of Will Smith or because of Will Smith?
Yeah, because he's just Will Smith. Exactly. Like Will Smith and like this thing that he does with his eyes when he gets like this face and he's just like,
Huh?
you know, it's like that. Like we
Oh,
watched
right.
the better one of his new movies was the new Bad Boys. He made a new Bad Boys movie too with Martin Lawrence, and Martin Lawrence is so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's so
gotta
funny.
see it.
And he's always got like he's always just like overweight kind of, but he's just I don't, he always wants to quit and and they're always like ride or die forever,
Yeah.
they always get that moment, that Bad Boys moment where they're together and they're gonna, yeah. That was way more entertaining than Genesis, man, or whatever. It's
Good to
called.
know. All right.
Gemini Man.
They all look good. And I was like, oh, it's Amazon's free. It looks good.
Yeah.
And then it's not good. And you're like,
I which really was for me like the best movie lately was this Ford versus Ferrari.
I got it. That came out in the cinemas last year. I think I took the girls to it, or not to a different movie like Frozen something.
Frozen 1 or 2.
I don't know, Everest.
Some things never change.
And all the cool movie put. I'm like, this looks good. Damon, and I love
Christian Bale.
Batman. Yeah,
Yeah.
Christian Bale's like one of my favorites. And
He's
he's back.
so
I'm like,
good in that movie.
awesome. And I love Le Mans type, endurance type racing. 70s is like my thing. And I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And of course, Frozen 2 takes precedence over Ford versus Ferrari, but that was up for like mega awards. No, I heard this is that
I could see why. Like, I never really knew anything about the Le Mans thing. I knew about Le Mans, but I never knew that there was like this whole Ford versus Ferrari battle back in the. It was
intense, yeah.
And they kind of the whole thing about Shelby. I didn't really. I remember like talking about it with my dad back in the day. Like, Shelby and this he builds his own cars using the Ford, and so they showed a lot of cool aspects of how this corporate world is clashing with like this independent car builder, and
and
so
gotcha.
like, yeah, because you have like, and you still have it today. Like, why does Ford, like these huge companies, and what do they do that doesn't? What is it? It kind of clashes against like this independent style of thinking. You always have like a board, and they always have to make the decisions. And I won't ruin the movie for you.
I haven't seen it. I'd love to see it.
You should. It's a great movie.
I got a loan to you on DVD. The Steve McQueen, 1970 Le Mans.
Yeah,
and that's the same story. He drives the Ford team, GT40s. He's the star driver, and they're all kind of fictional. But he's the evil, the bad guys are Ferraris.
Steve McQueen was also in that race, right?
He actually was. He was an actual racer, and they actually entered the race. They had camera cars, and they're all going like 140, 200 miles an hour, and they had cameras mounted on the cars. There's some real accidents. It's an amazing, I think the director was French.
That was the part of that movie that was like, whoa.
Crazy.
Yeah, because they just blow up.
Literally, yeah.
Like
it was like
the cars that,
flying bombs.
Yeah, and so the weirdest thing, like for me, when watching that, and you're like, you get all heartfelt, and I'm not going to give it up for you. Then I end up Wikipediaing like this
the true story.
I end up Wikipediaing these dudes that are in the, and I never knew I never knew Christian Bale's character. I never knew that character, and I'm so
these guys
glad.
are in the background. Yeah,
I'm so glad that they gave him basically the movie.
Good to know.
In a sense,
he deserves it.
Yeah, it was like he deserved it. He was like the test driver, and it was just like, damn. Like, what? Why? You think about it. Like, if you talk to, like, if I was going to watch that with Ronzi. I was like, Ronzi, you want to watch that movie? I would watch it again.
Cool.
She's like, no, I don't want to watch it. I could see why you like that movie, she said to me. And I was like,
you're one of those guys.
Well, she's like, I could see why you like it. Like, she didn't give me a hard time. She's like, I can see why you like it. Can we watch something else? And so we ended up watching Bad Boys, but like, which is like a happy medium. I get that, but the thing that women don't understand, or at least my woman, not all women. I'm sure there's women out there.
Mine is in the boat. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What my woman doesn't want to understand. She could understand it, but she doesn't want to understand why we have to fly to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to climb the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to do these challenging things that are totally there's no like logical reason for it to do that? Like, why do we have to climb Mount Everest? Why do men that have a lot of money take 100,000 of those monies and pay someone to take them to the top of Everest?
Yeah.
Like, that's a real thing, dude.
Yeah, it's
like, I even have to ask that. That's like I'm cray-cray. I'm crazy in a certain, but that is like, that's a level.
Yeah, explore the North Pole, South Pole, whatever.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna do Mount Everest, then do it. But like, then you gotta do it, right? You gotta do like the whole, you gotta train for years.
Yeah, I don't think
that's gotta be your whole life.
I don't think my wife would get it either.
I don't know.
Asking the question, why do you do these things? Why? What's the point? Why do you want to go to the moon? You'll never make it.
Why do we do that though as humans? There's a reason. There's like this exploration. Colin O'Brady. Do you know who Colin O'Brady?
No.
is?
Explorer? Everest guy?
This is all in German, bro.
Uh-oh.
I'll do it in English. It's cool. It does
Colin
both.
Brady.
Colin O'Brady. Born in 1985. Oh, here we go again.
Oh.
When I tell Franzi, like, Colin O'Brady is an American professional endurance athlete, motivational speaker, and adventurer. He is a former professional triathlete representing the United States in triathlon, blah, blah, blah. He's a 4-time world record holder. In 2016, he set the Explorers Grand Slam, last degree. and 7 summits speed records.
Grand Slam last degree. That's like the highest bar you can.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Hit.
So the 7 summits, he did 7 summits. He broke the record. Are the highest mountains of each of the 7 continents. Climbing to the summit of all of them is regarded as mountaineering challenge first achieved in in 1985. So his breaking of the record, world records. He did it in fastest person to complete the 7 summits. I don't know how long it took him, but basically you have the elevation of the South Pole, which is part of it because it's 9,300 feet, so 2,800 meters. This is Explorers Grand Slam last degree. So he did that. He did Mount Vinson, was in Antarctica. It's 16,000 feet.
Wow.
And Aconcagua is in South America. Argentina, 22,000 feet.
Really?
Mount Kilimanjaro, 19,000. Mount Kosciuszko, Australia, 7.
Oh, yeah.
7. So he's doing each continent, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Karsten's Pyramid, 16,000 is in Oceania. Then you got Europe is Mount Elbrus, which is in Russia. Then you got the North Pole, 0 feet.
He climbed it.
Mount Everest, obviously, in Asia, Nepal, 29,000, and Denali.
Wow.
So he did all of those. But the thing that was raised, he was also on I got to know him because he's been on the podcast multiple times with Joe Rogan. He did when he was doing these records, when he was doing these 7 summits, he had to basically like keep his like this elevation sickness. You have to keep it at bay in a sense. Like you have to keep acclimated to this because you have less oxygen.
Okay.
So your body acclimates to this after a while. So like if you acclimate yourself, like they say, you go to base camp for Mount Everest, you stay there for 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
And then your body's like, okay, we can now take the hit. You know,
Take the next level.
Take the next level. But in order to do all of these in a certain time period, you can't go to 0 elevation for too long.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Oh my God.
So to break the record, he had like a whole team.
Jet set.
He had to jet set and fly, and then it was like, well, I'm kind of injured. I'm not feeling so good. I was just gonna
2 weeks later.
Just gotta do Kilimanjaro anyway, and just kind of make it happen. And so it was talking about that experience that he had. But I think the craziest thing that he was talking about was doing Antarctica. He was the fastest person he did it in 52 days. He went across. He did like
2 months
all by your lonesome.
Really? 16, and that
One
was
step at a time.
16,000 feet. You said.
Yeah. What was it? It was 9,000 South Pole. Yeah. There's a mountain in Antarctica that's 16,000 feet, 4,800 meters.
It's not only cold down there.
So he did that too. He did it at the same time. It's January 10th. Did the South Pole, and then on Mount Vinson he did on this January 17th. So a week later he was. Because Antarctica itself is a huge plateau.
Yeah.
I never realized that until he said that, until he was telling his story. So like when you get there, you're already like you land and you're at 2,800 meters. You're already at the top of a mountain.
Oh wow!
And
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
I
that.
knew the plateau, but I didn't know how high it was. So
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah. So and then he's going. Then he's got all of his stuff on his back, and he's trekking. Oh, it's just like, you gotta kidding me, man. And he said that like the crazy thing about he was doing it against another person at the same time, and so but he couldn't keep in contact with it. But they just and he was just telling about this 52-day journey and basically wearing the same pair of underwear and like and if he lost his tans,
Yeah, seriously.
you're dead.
Like, yeah,
Like it's just below
frostbite was a big problem. I'm
But
sure.
why does he have to do that? What is about
don't know.
that like
that goes beyond me too.
So he's a motivational speaker. He turns it around and tries to make it for like a good cause.
Why
Like
it makes sense.
Like he'll try and be like, well, mentally tough, and this is what I went through, and it motivates people like me maybe to, I don't know. What is it? It's just amazing what the human body can do.
Yeah,
That's what amazes me about this guy. It's like that's so crazy that this person, and he's a normal guy. Like he's an athletically gifted person. Well, he has to be.
Mm-hmm.
But like just to imagine like how far that is away from me,
Yeah.
Like just physiology, like physically and mentally, how many levels of like
Yeah, seriously.
just
Superhuman
yeah.
traits.
I see that in jiu-jitsu too. Like I see these, you see these black belts, like on the world level. Like I'll roll with a black belt and get my ass kicked 100% without any doubt. I mean, I'm a white belt. Even if I one day get my blue belt, even if I one day get my fucking black belt, and like say it takes me 10, 15 years, levels. There's black belts and there's black belts, and it's like there's world champion black belts that are just, they have so much speed and so much like such a tiny detail that you would never be able to see it.
Yeah.
But you would like I got choked out by a black belt once. I don't know how he did it. I could not tell you. Like,
Seriously.
Yeah, like he was like he's the guy in Poland. He's like our leader, and I got to roll with him once, you know, and he was playing with me, you know, and he kind of was looking at the clock like he knew I was like the second thing he was doing.
Okay.
You know, like he was running his class and we roll. And so like everyone else, we have like a moment where everyone's rolling one-on-one. So so he's got these groups. And so he's just watching the clock, kind of like, how long do I want to let everyone do their thing? And then I'm going to wait until I'm done with the class. And then I'm just going to choke this guy.
Okay.
So then I can say the class is over. That's how he was doing. That's how he was. And I'm like,
your cat toy.
I'm like, I got him, you know? And he's just like, you know, kind of basically puppeting me around. And at the end, I was like this. He's a small little guy, like a hobbit with big feet. Like they're the worst because they can just get right underneath you, you know? And I was literally like this, and he had like my jacket kind of like I couldn't move my arms anymore. I don't know how. He had like my jacket so pulled around because when we roll with jackets, you don't have to, but in this scenario
and they're kind of loose fitting usually.
Well, it's kind of like a kimono, but you usually have like it together and you have your belt.
Yeah.
But at that point, my belt's probably flailing somewhere, and he just takes the tails of your jacket and just uses them against you, right? So I think he had him like, and he just basically like had me like this, and then somehow he was putting pressure on my spine behind me. I couldn't breathe. Like I was just sitting there and I'm like,
tap out.
I don't know how though. Why can't I like? There's no. He wasn't on my neck. I couldn't tell you, man.
Wow.
And he's definitely like European wide, like a very good, respectable black belt. He's an older guy. That's the hard thing, I think, when you get to a certain level, like you got your target on your back. And like, because there's other black belts out there that gun for you, you know?
Yeah.
For me, like, I was child for it. Like, I'm nothing for him, you know? But I can tell that, like, some of the black belts, when they want to test themselves against him and stuff, and it's crazy because it keeps him fit, even though, like, he's not at his prime athletically.
But still,
you know, like
skill-wise.
Because what's prime athletically is like 23, right? So he's probably, I don't know, he's probably in his upper 40s, maybe even close to his 50s, you know? And they're still going for you, you know, which is kind of crazy to think.
Kind of flattering for him. I mean,
sure, respect, you know. I have to say that, otherwise you'll just kill me.
Absolutely. I'm not worthy.
Oh, it's just insane to me that like, it doesn't matter what you do. There's like these levels of stuff in life. It's just like, it's not even like just a jiu-jitsu thing. It's like, it's anything. It's in teaching.
Expertise.
Yeah, I'm amazed by that. I don't know. It's just so crazy how humans can go to such extremes. And that's kind of what I try to say to Franzi when she's like, well, why do we have to go to the moon? I'm like, just because we can.
Yeah.
You know, or like, because, I don't know, because it's something, it's possible. And what does it take? Like, think about that. Like, how many things can go wrong? You know, like Elon Musk. When like that dude is just fucking motivating for me. I don't care if it sounds like a cliche to talk about him, because it's you know why it sounds like a cliche? Because I'm millions of miles away from him, and I'm never going to reach that. So me talking about him is just like name dropping, you know?
But he's kind of the opposite of Joe Rogan, where I think Joe's into the body and physical experience and extreme experience. But Elon's like machines and go and not AI. I think we touched upon that last time. He's kind of like, watch out for AI.
He's got huge respect for it, but I'm sure he uses a lot of it, though.
He's got to, in that business. Saving the world, electric cars, massive mega power stations, these batteries.
Yeah.
Going to Africa and dropping like a power station. Like, here you go, enjoy.
He's going to do one in Berlin too, right?
Gigafactory or something.
He's going to do another one here in Berlin.
Crank out which is, I think, kind of cool. An American company going to and he guy's South African, obviously, but this is American company.
Is he American though?
He's South African.
Is
I
he
think.
still like his nationality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's probably got the money to. Well, he's got a
Keep
Canadian
going, though.
wife
I'll
or
Google
girlfriend. Yeah, good idea.
They got back together, huh?
I have no idea. She's pregnant, so his
know,
fifth kid.
Wouldn't that be so crazy? People just if random people around the world just knew that about you, you'd be like, dude.
I know. Did you know Elon? But German auto industry is going to put that bomb right. Boom, electric cars. I'm running this stuff in your country. It's like what the Mercedes? They're all trying to catch up.
Yeah.
BMW. I don't know. I mean, it's good. The competition's good.
Good luck.
But that guy is on like the fully automated robotic end of things.
Yeah.
I'm really into the Elon Musk. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I got to get myself schooled on Joe, but
no,
Elon,
Joe.
man,
Joe doesn't know what he's talking, but he always says that too. I like you.
he's honest.
The best trait about Joe Rogan is that he would be the first one to say that he's a dumbass and he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So he can basically be that. And he's not claiming to be something else, which
that's cool.
Which
he's
is like,
humble.
He turns that around, and he's good at just saying like, I don't know, I'm an ape. And I was watching. It's so true that I was watching this video with him and Jay Leno.
Yeah,
they do this whole. Jay Leno does this whole car thing because it's.
Oh yeah. His garage.
And I guess Joe Rogan has this badass Stingray. Like,
serious?
I didn't know. I knew that he was kind of a car guy, but so he was on the show with him. Joe Rogan standing there. And then like full body because you always see Joe just like we are right now, right? And so he's standing there, and I'm like, dude, he really is an ape. Like his hands were like he could in full on normal standing straight up, he could touch his fucking knees with his hands.
Seriously,
like he was just standing there,
knuckle dragging,
and just the way that he was standing, he has like these big old hands. Another terrible person for jiu-jitsu because he could probably just wrap himself around you, and you'd just be like, whoa. And yeah. Anyway, and just the way he was standing, he was like pronouncing it almost. He was just kind of standing there, and then just let his arms fall. And then when he would talk, they were just like these long, dangly fucking.
Funny. That's hilarious.
No, but I think the thing that I like about the whole Joe Rogan idea, and I would definitely do that here, is just having these conversations where I think you just become like addicted to this information, this new flow of stuff, and you get all these, all these cool guests. You know,
I bet, yeah.
You got people sitting across from you, like he's talking with this Colin O'Brady. They sat together for 3. How cool would that be to sit down with that guy?
Yep.
And tell me about Antarctica.
Yep.
It was like, well, the first 10 days I thought I was gonna die, and then I called my wife on the GPS phone, and I was crying, and then we just kept going, and then after a while, you just get in this zone, and you just one foot after the other. And day 30, day 32, day
52.
Day 52, and then just like it gets lighter. I get weaker, but I don't have as much water. I get another one, and then just like, wow, you're a Fruit Loop. And Joe will be like that reality check to him. He'll be like, well, just stop. You're good. Don't do it. You made it. Like he kind of does that whole thing like your wife would do. Like be like, are we good now? Because I like to have you on the podcast again, and the next thing you do might be the last thing that you do, because it's true. And he always, even when he talks to like guy like Tony Stark, he talked to I don't even know his actor's name, to Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
He can just be like he could just ask the question that you would want to ask him without being starstruck.
That's cool.
Like, is it going to be another one?
That's a talent. That's not
what
easy.
You would ask.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's his talent, is to have the same conversation over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And for how many episodes are they at? 1,500 episodes,
Seriously.
Yeah.
Cool.
Been doing it for like 10 years.
I'm psyched. Good for him. Longevity.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. That's, Elon Musk was building PayPal. I mean, Elon Musk is a whole other freak.
Yeah.
But they're both freaks in their own world.
Definitely different directions, but
I mean, Elon Musk is definitely
same level.
I don't know. That's an amazing person too. I don't know. They all have brain damage somehow, though.
Sorry, Elon. The bitter truth.
Yeah. He's just
not stoppable.
He's just an alien.
Yeah. He's.
What did he say? He said that he thinks he might have a genetic defect. He kind of admitted.
He said that, really?
Yeah, he's like, it might be genetic. It's true.
He doesn't sleep at all. I understand.
Yeah, it's just like no sleep, doesn't need it, right? And then just goes and just can draw. And the crazy thing about, like, you heard about, like, he had an employee that was on the Joe Rogan show talking about him and just had been working with him, and he's just like you're talking about like someone that's just like probably if you met this guy, you'd be like, damn, he is literally a rocket engineer, like, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just like, it's so crazy that to work with Elon, because he'll have like, he has such a depth and such a width of knowledge at the same time. Like he can interdisciplinary knowledge. So he can be talking to you about the structural engineering of like a rocket, and then he can give you like the formulas you need for like some type of physics or I don't know. Like he can just go between like where most people will just have to go so deep
in one
thing, because it takes so much time and so much energy just to really get good at understanding how like thermodynamics is working or something like that. I just have a hard time just thinking of what the name of it is, you know. And these people understand the concepts, and then he'll just like switch over into building a car
or a tunnel
or a tunnel. Yeah. But then he's so funny about it. He'd just be like, yeah, well, we dug a hole.
We made flamethrowers,
and we look. Yeah, he makes a flamethrower. He's not really a flamethrower though. You know.
Oh.
And it like it's just so it's so crazy to think that there's people like that on this planet. You know. Hopefully he helps us. I don't know. I think he's doing a good job so far, in my opinion, my humble opinion. But I would definitely buy a Tesla if I could afford it.
We'll see how it goes when he gets the gigafactory going in Berlin. They're trying to get the workers together. They flattened the forest. They figured that out, and they got around these tricky environmental laws that were out there.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even get the airport built in that same area. And that's taking 20, 30 years.
I think there's already an audio. I was looking at audiobooks, and there's like an audiobook about the Berlin airport. I'm like, who the fuck?
It took 30 years in the making.
Yeah, it's just like,
oh my God.
It's like an 18-hour audiobook about the building of the never finished construction of the Berlin airport.
They get Elon on the board of directors, so what happened? I don't know. I mean, the guy's
there's not much bullshitting that guy. I don't think that.
No, he
just doesn't. And I don't think he talks unless it's kind of like we were talking about last time with what's her name, with a chick, with a girl,
right?
I guess he probably just has so many things going on in his mind that he really only kind of just talks about what it needs to be talked about, you know?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that, or maybe not.
Elon is very
sociable.
So my English at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw plenty videos of him with some YouTubers and watching memes. Just
having a good time, like just fucking around.
Yeah, just fucking around.
Yeah,
cool.
See, that's cool.
He made a video for PewDiePie, I guess. So,
oh wow.
So PewDiePie just reached out and said, "Yo, can you just look at some memes for me?" And I put it in my video. And
Oh, cool.
And he like looks at the memes like,
He's
"That's
like,
good.
okay.
That's good."
Yeah,
I'll work with you.
And friends sit down and laughed their asses off.
Yeah, that's important, you know. So he is a human.
You know,
Not an alien.
The situation.
Yeah.
He looked very human. Yes.
I love his dry humor. Like every time when they were interviewing him for this whole thing that they're trying to do, where they're flying the astronauts out. It's like they're going to actually launch astronauts again to the space station for the first time. The Americans are finally going to do it.
Yep.
And it's everyone's like on a like, well, okay, this is important. And so they did a test, and things explode. And he's like, we wanted that.
They wanted,
it was like a whole. So he was really, but at the end when everyone goes away, people were like, Elon, So all of the NASA guys and all of like the Ford guys.
Oh, right.
They leave and Elon's like the rock star, and they still want to talk to him, and he'll sit there and he'll do that, and he's like, "Do you guys want me to dance?" Because he does, like, sometimes he'll do like these weird dances, and he's just like doing this whole.
Oh man, yeah.
And it's
he's
like,
a real person.
He's a marketing guy too,
Yeah,
like he knows what is like. He's self-aware of his allure that he has, even though.
That's good.
It's nice to have people like that. Like it feels like he's on the team. He feels like he's trying to bring us, and he's not a bureaucrat. He's not.
He's not there for the money.
Yeah, and he never was. And so the money itself is like this positive side effect, and he needs it as a tool.
For his tool for his hobby or passion or whatever.
Yeah, and like did you see when the Cybertruck came out? He was like he was driving it around in L.A. like just
Oh,
and
and
he just took out like a at a
Meridian
club.
strip or something. Or
Yeah, he was at a club somewhere, and there was like this kind of like a big road sign, like it's kind of not a sign, but like it's a place to where it's like this is the parking, don't go here. And since the truck was so big and he just took off so fast, he just flattened it, you know. And the truck is it's like a massive tank, you know. And it's like fuck, the truck didn't even make a dent, you know. And, and he didn't even notice. Probably just kept driving.
yeah,
and
it's insignificant.
But like, what a toy! He just builds like he has like this platform, this electric platform, and you can just put any car on top of it. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, well, let's just make a truck and let's just make it a quad. Let's make an electric quad that pulls up in the back of the truck. You know.
Oh right, yeah, that one. Yep.
It's like all of these ideas that you can tell he's just probably just like, let's do that.
Bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, my
And
favorite.
you think that was planned? I think it was planned.
Well, good question. They
He's
threw
such
the
a
rock.
calculated guy. There's like I can't imagine that that's something that he would be like, oh, that wasn't.
We
on purpose."
forgot.
Yeah. Like we didn't test that rigorously.
Oops. Yeah, that was such a big gaffe.
And it was such a big gaffe that it was such a positive marketing experience, you know,
Yeah.
because like how many times the
Headlines.
whole week it was just like Elon Musk's car.
Yeah,
We've
got that the other 50% of the haters just can't
always got
stand
the
him. It's like,
haters,
oh, Tom, you can't do it right. Look what happened, and of course, just headlines jacked over, the Trump headlines, which is hard to do.
I
So
don't get it how you can hate a guy like this. I mean,
It's
Yeah.
just weird. It's
never done anything wrong. I guess
he's never hurt anybody.
no,
stood on someone's toes or anything.
No.
my favorite one when he it's like we're gonna demonstrate payload. What are we gonna shoot into space? What do we do? My car. I don't want it anymore.
Take my car.
Put
yeah.
a guy in it. Put spaceman in
and
there.
then put the music on.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
the board of directors like, you can't do this, dude. This space is serious, and we got to be serious about it. And NASA guys are serious, and we're all serious.
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
Just
If there's no
shoot
fun
my-
in it, why do it?
Yeah. Shoot my car. Oh, the environmentalists are all freaking out.
There's
How
the
can you-
roaster.
There's toxic waste and the oil in space, and it's gonna come back someday as a meteor. It's like,
I think I saw something yesterday, or was it this morning? You can actually see at certain times of day. You can see the
Rocket Man.
You can see the 5G network that he's building with the satellites.
Yeah,
So
it was in
there's the-
England, something like a string of satellites.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because that's how close they are.
That is so weird.
That you can actually see them.
Cool.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. It seems
And a little strange.
there's a lot of conspiracies there too. You were telling me
Watch
about
out for that 5G.
the 5G. Yeah.
No,
It's interesting. I don't know, man. It's crazy times if you think about it. That's we can sum this up, but
Yeah.
I have to tell you, like, when talking about everything that we talked about,
yeah.
it's fucking weird. 2020 is weird.
It started off pretty weird.
It's,
Corona time.
yeah, that's gonna be.
Where do we go from here?
It's gonna be.
This will be the last epidemic for a while, no?
It'd be nice.
Pandemic.
Pandemic. Well, let's see. Hopefully. I don't know, man.
Going back to school.
I'm glad that we were able to.
Yeah.
That you're able to come by.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me over.
Okay, what do you want to call it?
Oh, jeez.
Just think about it. I had like one name. I was thinking like calling it because we have expectations when you come in. We're both expats that we call it expectations.
Sounds good. Yeah,
But I don't know how good. That's just good in my mind. That could. I don't know if it's
Expats, good. Yeah, that's our.
we have the English hour with Eric now.
Right. Yeah. Schooling them the hard way.
Anybody that watches this, type in the comments. Nobody's watching, but if anyone
Yeah,
watches,
seriously.
type in the comments. Say you
Yep.
should call it Two Americans in Pazalok. Not a very good.
Not
title.
catchy, but.
You got one? Think about it.
Yeah. It's,
Remington Rambles.
Remington Ramble.
No, because I do ramble, man. You got to stop me.
No, I can't stay on focus. I shoot off.
Remington breathes.
The ice bath.
Nice, man. No,
ice
man.
bath.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we'll do it again soon.
Oh, dude, what?
What time we got?
Holy
I
shit.
gotta cook dinner.
Yeah, we got to go, man. What time
Yep.
is it? 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
10 of. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's been good.
That's cool.
But at least we know we're not
We're
corona positive.
we're not
We're all
corona
corona
positive.
negative right now.
Wear your
can still
mask.
get it. Yep. Get my gloves on. I'll see you at Edeka. I gotta go stock up on some toilet paper.
And then see you back
I'll
at
be the
Edeka.
guy with the 2 wagons and the double fisting.
Right on, man.
All right.
Yeah,
But
you can-
Eric, be good, man.
he's
We'll-
cutting us off here. Did he cut us off already?
No.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.